type of.
What's up, y'all? It's Cousin Chet.
What's going on? It's the one-eyed freak. You know what I'm saying? Where's my hold on
freak?
Where's my?
Sorry, I didn't let you. Look, the conversation was already started, and we were getting to, and I just had to push the record button. And I'm looking kind of swole. Man.
You is, man. You is swole. Wealthy and healthy. You hear me? Wealthy and healthy.
So, topic today, we were listening to Prince EA. This video will make you confident is the title of the video. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Prince EA for giving us a little bit of motivation for today's topic. And what we realize is he's talking a lot of like positive affirmation, law of attraction, and mindfulness stuff. And sorry to interrupt you, bro.
No, you good. You good. You trying to get him caught up. You know, gotta keep him in tune. Gotta keep him caught up. So it's kind of like, I guess what started it was like prayer versus like law of attraction. Like basically like saying, and I'm this, I'm gonna be that, I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? But without no works behind it, it ain't gonna really make no sense to me. Just like prayer without, you know what I mean? Like if you praying to God for something. Not if you praying, you have a belief right there. You know what I'm saying? It's the action behind that prayer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't ask God to humble your heart, but you're not trying to be more humble in situations when they come towards you. And I heard from my mom that once you pray for something, best believe it's finna get hard. Like it's gonna get hard. Like, so if I pray for humbleness, it's gonna be hella people trying to test me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like it comes even harder, you know what I mean?
I've always
like,
heard it with patience. If I pray, I must have prayed for patience.
I'm in
a situation where I need patience.
And that's crazy.
You know what I mean? So if you pray for patience, you better to go with what you just said. God is going to give you opportunities to practice your patience. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So who?
I don't know. She ain't gonna be able to keep her mouth shut. I already know.
Sorry, she
might
as well be involved.
I don't know. I'm ready to. That's what I'm saying.
She might as well be involved.
She might as well be in it.
Might as well.
What's up, Naenizzle?
Back at it.
So what I was telling you is that look, I got a hole in my shirt. But
you
where the button go through it.
Yeah. She said it's okay, that's where the button goes through it.
But I was telling you that I have an aunt that is a minister at a church, and when I attended that church, we were taught a lot of those things, right? Mm-hmm. We were taught a lot of like positive affirmations, mindfulness, things that people will learn from the law of attraction or The Secret, which is basically talking about the law of attraction. And I always had an issue with the idea of lying to myself. Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me to go in front of a mirror and say certain things like, okay, if I was to go in front of a mirror and be like, I'm skinny, I am skinny, mm-hmm. I am skinny. Mm-hmm. For me, I feel like I'm just lying to myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So what I had to do was come up with affirmations that I could actually believe, right? And that I could affirm in myself. And as I shared with you before I hit record, my biggest one that's been with me for a long time is I am strong, I am confident, I am healthy, right?
He like, cause that's real, that's reality.
It's just the basics of it. But I am strong, I am confident, I am healthy.
But see, this is the thing. If you get in the mirror and say I'm skinny, I'm skinny, or I want to be skinny, how strong you gonna be? But about as strong as me.
But I mean,
I ain't that damn strong. But you get what I'm saying? Though? I'm strong in other situations. Like anybody can come to me and ask me about any type of loss. Anybody you done lost. Yeah. I don't probably know the losing a child part, but I've been around my mom that lost 2 sons. You know what I mean? So I can
brothers.
I can still, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I ain't never lost my children, but it was devastating to see my mom lose hers. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, so like I understood how she gave me pointers and gave me, she gave me pointers and gave me, you know what I mean, keynotes and different coping skills on how to deal with that type of stuff. But like I said, it's kind of like we're all like one and one for all type of situation because I feel like we can all help each other. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think we do, man. We do need each other, man. I mean, we really do. I don't think anybody is an island. And even if you think, oh, I did it all by myself, well, somebody bought your product.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know
because once you're the boss of the company, who's your boss? I'm gonna say, once you're the boss of the company, who becomes your boss?
Yeah,
the people
that
provide,
your customers. Yeah, the people who are keeping you alive and keeping you afloat. Like, you know what I'm saying? For sure, they become your boss. You know what I mean?
So on the thing of positive affirmations, like I work with that because, like I said, I always struggle with, okay, I don't want to lie to myself. And here's one of the reasons. My mom used to say about her dad, about my grandfather. She used to say he used to lie to himself so much he believed it. Right? And so that stuck with me, right? About the ability of somebody to lie to themselves so
fake
much
they self out to really they don't even.
Right. And then that goes into that fake it till you make it. And I didn't like that neither. Like I don't like fake people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always feel like not everybody can be Elon Musk. Not everybody can be Kanye West. Not everybody can be Albert Einstein.
But can I be honest? That is the best part about you.
What do you mean?
Because there's no other Chet. There's no other JusJus. There's no other Naenizzle.
Right.
That is the best part about being you. Once you start to really realize what we are as just individuals, man, you might not have to be no Kanye West or no Elon Musk. Man, you might have more of an impact doing this on the masses of people who aren't Elon Musk and aren't Kanye West. Or you might get Kanye West chimed in one day and be like, man, they talking about some real ass shit right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like I said, everybody's an individual and everybody
got gifts. Let me ask this question. Say I go in the mirror and I say, you know what, I've got this goal. This is where I want to be. And I'm going to follow the secret. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to feel myself there. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm driving this Lamborghini or Bugatti or this is how I smell and this is how I feel and all this, right? But what if that's not God's plan for my life?
I understand.
No, but I'm saying, so I've been lying to myself all this time, but that's not God's plan for my life.
Hold on, what is having to drive a nice vehicle have something to do outside?
I make that as an example.
Worldly things
I just made up an example.
Worldly things.
I just made up an example. Really, I used to drive, sit in the car. Right.
So if you imagining in your head that you want a carriage with a horse,
he said,
"Come on."
But you like this Amish people. You mean to tell me it's not accomplishable? It's the same. That's even more accomplishable. Think about it. Financially, yeah, I can probably get a horse and carriage. Like, you feel me? Like that ain't about nothing. But guess what? Some horses cost $100,000 for one horse. Like, you feel me? Like, so that's what I'm saying. What you want, the Lambo or you like? You know what I'm saying? Like
this Kentucky Derby horse.
Yeah, it's all about the like I said, it's the manifestation within you. So if you telling yourself, yeah, I'm gonna do this, yeah, I'm gonna do that, you're gonna start to work towards that. You're gonna wanna be into that and live that for real. It ain't gonna just be a visual.
I get that. I get that. That's the purpose of fake it till you make it, right? Is so that you start acting as if you're in that role, right? You dress for the part you want, kind of thing. You dress for the job you want, right?
Yeah.
So the old adage of the guy that comes in as a cashier and he wears a suit all the time because he really wants to be the boss, kind of thing. Okay.
And that happens in life.
But
in real life, that happens.
Don't happen for
They take over the. Shit, she did it.
Came as a regular worker. 15 months made myself a
supervisor.
So were you dressing as a supervisor when you came in?
I dressed just like this.
But do you understand my point, though?
I feel what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's going to achieve everything, right? And maybe it's not a part of God's plan. Maybe you sitting there telling yourself all this time and you ain't listening to God. You know what I mean?
So do you know what you pray about?
Well, there's nothing I feel like no single person can achieve, though. The world is so broad. Go ahead, my fault.
If you're praying to God and that's what you believe in and stuff, then you can ask God, show me. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Show me my purpose.
I agree with
that.
You
pray for them things.
I agree with that.
There's nothing wrong with praying for patience and for humbleness and to have a forgiving heart. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also, if that's what you believe in, God, show me my path. Show me so I know.
Sure.
Yeah,
y'all heard her?
Yeah. I liked it. That was a good terminology on it's like, if that's what you're asking for, you know what I'm saying? Me, my life just super simple. Me personally, my life is simple. It's super simple. Just to keep my girls off the poles and then keep my boys out of prisons.
Now, let me back up to the affirmation. So once I learned myself and I said, God, because that was my prayer.
Yeah.
I said a long time ago, I was like,
I pray for that.
Because look, I was about 25 and I had already traveled like a quarter of the world and I had done a lot of things.
Man, this man been on a boat. And that's what I'm saying. He don't even.
Go
ahead, my fault. Go ahead.
So
I just love hearing that
at
shit.
some point, I'm like, you know what? So I had, and I know Justin knows this. I had a spiritual experience where I kind of went off into the mountains of my mind for a little bit.
Real life manifestation.
And when I came back, I'm like, okay, you know, what do you want from me then?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You just showed me all this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just took me on this long walk. What do you want from me? Because look, if you take me today, if you want to put me on a cross, so I can help us cross over to another level, so I can help us evolve,
willing to go.
Use me.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, I will hang on that tree for you. You know
Let's
what
go.
I mean? Because you've already given me at this point a life that, you know, it wasn't great. Like, I have my issues with things, right? But at the same time, I was like, I've actually had a pretty decent ride here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you protected me, you blessed me in these other ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, so if I die today, I'm good. Which
You know
means,
what we go through them
and then I'm
things,
like,
though?
okay, so I'm going to give my life to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to give my life to you.
Yeah.
Because I even wrote a poem, which I shared with your mama a long time ago.
Okay.
And it started off, song to sing, turn around, song to sing. And then what I meant by that is I said I had a song to sing, and the devil come up and was like, all right,
Yeah.
we're going to do this, we're going to make you rich and famous.
Famous.
And I was like, nah, bro.
That ain't
turn
the song
around.
I'm into, yeah.
I said, I got a
But you
song to
know,
sing.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
you
fire.
get the plan of God about what you really want. Man, the devil really be at you.
That's
At
what I was
you.
saying earlier.
Be
That's what I was,
at you.
that's what I was saying
like
earlier.
Crazy. I
That's
be
what I was
praying for
saying
stuff.
earlier.
I tell you, I'm talking within the same day, in the same 2 hours. But I pray for it, and I'm talking about prayers when I done cried. Here come the devil, bro. Ringing my phone or whatever the case may be. Like, it just be crazy.
And some of that stuff be just pure distraction. You know what I mean?
The devil.
That's why I like to say, don't
this
pay
one.
attention to the distraction, pay attention to the message.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you know what
if
I
you don't
mean?
have no struggle, how do you grow? How do you
Well, you have
how
to
you
have
don't
struggle
learn?
to get stronger.
And you don't. Yeah, you got to.
That's just the way it
So
works.
you can stroke. I mean, so you become stronger.
You don't become a bodybuilder by sitting around. You
Sitting
gotta break
around.
those muscles
Yeah.
down. You gotta, you know what I mean? I'm trying to situate this a little bit better so that we're not cutting people out. And so look, so it took me a while. I said to you before, I've had so many experiences that I was still in my learning phase.
Mm-hmm.
My learning phase went well into my adulthood
Mm-hmm.
because the universe, God in this circumstance, put me in this context, in this context, in this context, showed me this, showed me that, did this, took me here. You know what I mean? And I had to put them all together,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean, Bub, I grew up with a 15-year-old. She was 15 when I was
Yeah,
born.
yeah.
Divorced when she's 5. We got 2 brothers with a 20-year-old woman struggling just to, you know,
Yeah.
we're singing this old song talking about tomorrow's gonna be a better day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's gonna be a better day. We'll have steak instead of beans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
stuff like that.
slaves.
No, it
They used
wasn't
to
like
sing
slaves.
songs to make their days feel better.
There
It's hope.
was that.
It's
There was
hope,
that
bro.
hope.
Those
But and then we went, and then my mom marries a guy in the Air Force, and now I'm around Air Force people. That's a whole new context. Then I go to an all black high school or majority black high school.
Another
That's
whole
a
new
whole
context.
new
Yeah,
context.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Then I joined the Navy. That's a whole new
nother
context.
yeah,
I travel the world. That's a whole new
Yeah,
context.
Yeah. And
I
that's a
come
lot of
out
experiences.
and I move
without
out into the
really knowing what's
world.
going on.
into the hills of Kentucky. That's a whole new context. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of adapting.
And then I go to seminary.
It is.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
adapting.
then he went.
And
to-
that's a
then he
whole
went-
new context. You know what I mean? And really, like, after seminary, I was lost
I thought you was about to come out with the little thing right there.
because I thought I was gonna be. I thought God had told me what He wanted me
Seminary.
to do.
He went to go.
Seminary is like
It's
school
like school, but for religion.
ministers.
Yeah, for
Like, that's what I was thinking, like priests.
For like ministers and priests.
shit.
I thought you was gonna.
I thought I was gonna be a chaplain.
Yeah, the
I
little
thought that's
white
what
thing.
God wanted me to do.
The little white thing, right?
Nah, that would be a priest.
Yeah. It's
But a
Catholic.
chaplain's like in.
Oh, that's Catholic.
Yeah, a chaplain, or I mean, not everybody has that as Catholic, but for me, the chaplain is like a place, a minister to people who don't have a church, and oftentimes you find them in hospitals, right? 'Cause
Or
maybe
at-
your church people
Or
can't
in
come to
jail,
the hospital.
praying
in
for
jail.
people.
Jail is where you're
That's
going
what
to see
you're talking about.
chaplains,
Jail.
right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Military is
Yeah,
big on
yeah,
chaplains, right?
Chaplains do a lot of missionary work too.
Yeah, they. I mean,
They
chaplains
go
can do a
everywhere.
lot of-
Yeah, they go everywhere. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They go everywhere. And you already been everywhere. That's part of your. See?
But when that didn't work out, right? And I mean, I was using all my affirmations. I thought I'd been a great chaplain. I knew I'd be a great chaplain. When I did my internships, I had great rapport and I had great experiences with the people that because the way I saw it, I'm a spiritual shoulder to lean on.
Right.
And I feel like I did that for the people that I ministered to when I was in my internship.
Period.
But on the administrative side,
Those folks.
and with what the school wants and what they want to see and da 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 da, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't what they wanted me to be. I wasn't where they wanted me to be, and I was struggling academically.
Okay.
I've always struggled academically since early
me
on.
too.
Now is that and
Me
now,
too.
now let me ask y'all a real quick question on side note about the education part. Is that like from lack of like focus, or is it from lack of like information?
Well, I'm an ADD kid, so it's definitely
I ain't even
focus
ADD.
is an
School,
issue.
school just don't interest me.
Yeah, I was interested.
Some things
in a
don't
way.
grasp my interest. If you don't grasp my interest, I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
But
So
for
is
me-
it the setting? Because if somebody is teaching you something like how you learned within
Okay, let
15
me
months
say
to
it
be a
like this.
supervisor, right?
Let me say you this.
I
If
like-
I'm sitting in the classroom with 20 kids,
Yeah, is
I
it the
might
setting?
not learn how the other 19 kids learn.
Nah, I don't think none of them. I think all of them supposed to learn differently, ain't they? That's what the that's
No, what
one
is
of
it?
them.
The
That's one of them things that's
it's
wrong
three
with
things
school.
how you learn.
That's
I
one of them
forget what
things
they
that
are, but
visually,
they tell you.
visually,
Hands-on,
audially, or hands on. But some people need all three to master it.
Yep.
I gotta hear it. Say it again.
Show it to
Say it again.
Show
Show me how you did that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Yeah, I can hear that shit all day. But you gotta show me, nigga, that mean parentheses,
them.
and then that mean, you know what I'm saying, like division. And
This
that
go
mean, like
first,
I
and
need to
then
know.
this go
You know what I'm
next.
saying? I need to know the exponents is supposed to be second, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I have to know these things, but I just feel like it's like you said, it's the setting. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Teachers-
that's one thing we do got to figure out, man. Stop, y'all teachers out there that tune into this, or y'all, you know what I'm saying, school developers or whatever y'all want to call yourselves, man. Y'all got to figure out that curriculum, man, so everybody can be engaged and everybody can be involved, man. Like for real.
I think it's hard, man.
They gotta figure that
But-
out.
but
Yeah.
to go
Because
back to
I
the-
mean, it's only on
to
one
go back
teacher.
to the
I get that.
To go back to the affirmation thing, right?
Yep.
So I come out of that, and I spent 10 years and over $100,000 on my education, right? I put everything I had into it. Some people would look from the outside and say you didn't try hard enough. I gave it what I had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I have this and this and that and that. I sit in a classroom and I can learn because I'm an audio learner.
Okay.
You put me in a history class with a teacher that's going to tell the stories, I don't need to do any homework. I don't need to read. I've learned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put it onto my template that I just naturally, I have a natural aptitude for it.
It's in your,
Now,
in your
now
in
you
your
give me
knowledge bank.
something like
it's in your
algebra.
knowledge bank.
You give me something like algebra where I have to do more focus on my own work, right? And go home and do it myself. Well, the problem with algebra is, or math, or high level math,
Or any of that,
is I miss one step and now I'm behind
Yeah.
and there's no catching me up.
You right
You know
about
what I mean?
that.
Because the teachers don't notice and they're like, oh, he just doesn't do his homework. You know
So
what
when
I
I
mean?
got home, I forgot everything you told me.
Yeah.
Not even
I'm
that.
like that.
Yeah, not
I'm
even
like
that. It's
that.
just like
And so for me, I had every affirmation. I had every belief that I felt like I knew what God wanted me to do, and there were signals to me along the way, like you are on the right path. Justin, when I went, let me tell you a story, bro. I was working for a homeless organization. I was the programs manager for a homeless organization in Pennsylvania, and
this was during the school journey, or this is before or after?
This is when I had
Just trying to get some context.
yeah. So I had already done my prayer, and I said, I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
I said, one day I'm like, all right, God, what do you want me to do? And God's like, pay attention to your gifts. Pay attention to the gifts I gave you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, what are the gifts that God gave me? I feel like I have the gifts. When I talk to people, I help them. I have the gifts of a counselor, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go study psychology, right? So I go study psychology.
That's what I want to do.
I get to my third year. Some things happen in my personal life and just my whole life at that time. I deal with mental health issues. One of them is clinical depression. And I got super depressed. And I dropped out my senior year. And I'm like, God, why would you do that to me? Why would you let me get so far and then I get depressed and drop out and now I can't even go back? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, obviously I was wrong. Because I'm gonna blame myself,
That's
right?
not what it was
I'm not
for
gonna
you.
blame
Now,
God.
hold on, though.
It's not
Hold
the
on,
benefit
though.
you're trying to
So,
send
hold
you.
on. So hold on. So what happens is I get
Because I want him. I want
I
to
get
hear him
out.
say some real shit.
I get out, and this is what I'm living in. I'm living in the hills of Kentucky, bro. And I'm finally like, you know what? I got to get out these hills.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I needed to do here, I have done.
Yeah.
You know, I had my time in the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
the real mountains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anyway,
You done had your time at sea.
had my time in the hills.
Yeah, had your time in the hills. So then you moved
So I'm
to
praying.
Pennsylvania.
Then I come back to Dayton,
Okay.
and I'm just like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Because obviously you didn't want me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, it's pay attention to your gifts. And I'm thinking, you know what? The problem with psychology is I couldn't include my spirituality in it. I was really afraid that I'm going to get in a situation where I'm just going to be a pill pusher. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be herding people through cattle, triaging people. I mean, my spirituality is going to have to be.
He's saying some.
And my
real
spirituality
shit.
is going to have to be put on the back burner. Right? And so I'm like,
and,
you know
and
what?
you got to come at him medically now instead of kind of trying to do the spiritual warfare, which where actually,
It works.
in my opinion, is where it begins at.
So then the word chaplain comes into my head.
Okay.
And I'm like, yes.
Bing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because then I can counsel people and put the spiritual together.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? I got to get this bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. Well, I owe this school money. This other school, they want the transcripts, and this school is not giving no transcripts. So I got to start all over.
From scratch.
Because I don't have the money to pay.
I want to go to school for my associates.
You should.
Because I had the supervisor experience.
Yeah.
But for the money that I'm looking for, like if everything requires bachelor's or associates.
A lot of stuff requires some kind of documentation.
I tried to tell them.
So I'm like, chaplain. I'm like, all right. So I find a school that let me come in. I can work it out financially, blah, 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 blah. And I go through it. And it's a struggle because I don't do well with school. I have a focus problem. Okay. Right? I'm not a dumb person. Mm-hmm. School is weird for me. And especially if I've got to read a lot, like me sitting down to read for a long period of time is a struggle. Okay. And then have to write for a long time. That's a struggle. Mm-hmm. Like I'm a good person with words, but me sit down and write 20 pages, that's a struggle. That takes a lot of focus and attention that I just personally, that's not my strength.
I think you could do it though.
Well, I tried.
You can sum your shit.
No, not even.
You can sum your shit up in 20 lines.
I ain't talking about like the. Just think about from the poem you first told my mom to the one I got in my phone somewhere to the ones you put on. Man, let's just talk, bro. Let's just be honest, bro.
But let's continue. Let's get back. Let's continue this part of the journey, right? Because I'm like, okay, I'm ready to die. And he says, I don't need you for that. Mm-hmm. I just need you to be Chad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right.
And notice them gifts.
Right, exactly, right?
So boom.
And so I start going to school.
You got to pay for it.
Right? I get back to school, and now I'm going to get a bachelor's degree in Christian studies. Mm-hmm. All right? And
I remember
it takes me a while. And during that time, I'm living in Pennsylvania. I get a job at a homeless as a program manager for this really awesome homeless program that I will tell you about later. Okay. But while I'm there, the main thing is we I did our emergency shelter in the evenings at a different church each month. Okay. And one month we were at a Quaker meeting house. You know what the Quakers are, like the oatmeal people.
Man, what?
Yep.
With the hat?
Yeah, but they're not Amish. They don't wear their clothes no more.
I know, but that
some of the Quaker oatmeal.
The
Quaker
Quakers
and
like Johnson and Johnson.
The Quaker, but the Quakers as a version of Christianity, I had never really known much about, other than like they helped in the Underground Railroad, things like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You ain't know.
So I tell
That's
my
why
boss.
I was like, I don't know if we're about to get into that.
I want to stay the night one night and see what everybody's doing. This is getting long, and I'm gonna shorten it up. Yeah, good. So I'm staying the night, and everybody goes to sleep, and I kind of do a little walk around, and I come up to this bookshelf that says "Silence and Witness," and I pull it out, and I start reading it, and I'm like, this is the theology that I have come to on my own. These people are saying what I have come to in my time out at sea, in my time in the mountains, in my time with God, like how I understood my relationship with God. When I'm reading this book, Silence of Witness, written by Michael Burkle, I am saying, oh my God, these people are speaking my mind, which I find out later they use as a common phrase. But anyway.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I do not. I
Because we all are going through the same stuff.
And so,
we all going through the same shit.
so I earned my bachelor's, and I got to find a seminary. I'm not a regular person. I'm not a person that's going to go into a church or a seminary that says you have to make this confession of faith. You have to believe in these, and these. Like that's just
in order to be.
I couldn't do it, right?
So what's that like? Is that like what is that?
What is what? An affirmation of faith? A confession of faith?
Yeah, you gotta. That's
when you have to
really
believe
gotta do
certain
that to
things.
certain like.
Yeah, like if I want to go to
perfect word.
Say that again.
Perfect. Is it like an oath?
Yeah,
that sounds.
I mean, the idea is the same as an oath, but really what it is supposed to be a confession of faith, right?
But you said it's different for different
like
religions.
It's different for different branches of Christianity, yeah.
So like Methodist. It's
so
different
like obviously the Catholics, I mean, I'm gonna have to be a virgin, I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm gonna have to, Mary is a virgin, Jesus is the only Son of God, da. And yeah, in a lot of seminaries, you would have to have those, you know what I mean? You have to believe those certain things for them, you know what I mean? Or you're not gonna get in, right?
I didn't know that.
And so I needed something that had more freedom, more theological freedom for me. That's why when I found this book, I'm like, I got to find a Quaker seminary. Well, I found one. It's actually an hour and a half away.
Boom.
He said, I did.
He was out
so
there.
look. So I read that book. As I'm graduating, I call him up. I schedule a visit, and I go for a visit. And I meet with a man named Matt, who was like the recruiter. And he's giving me a tour, right? And as he's giving me a tour, I'm telling him about this book. And as I tell him, and when I say the word Silence and Witness by Michael Burkle, he stops in his tracks and he looks at me and he goes, Michael Burkle teaches here.
Shut up.
Wow.
Shut up.
Like it just literally just led you right into the same, bro, what?
So I'm like, that's not a sign.
First off.
Right.
I'm like, shut the front door.
Now peep this. I've
already walked in. Shut the front door.
Now peep this. Was that just a prayer answer or was that law of attraction? Talk to me.
Manifestation too.
Go.
Because you've been praying about it, right?
Go. Which one was it?
It could be both.
Go.
I think it's neither.
It could be both.
It could be both.
It could be. Nah, that's not coincidence, bro.
That was
not coincidence, bro.
I'm not saying it's coincidence.
A lot of people blame stuff on coincidence.
I'm not blaming it on
Please, y'all, do not go outside of your
What's meant for you is meant for you.
Man, what? Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you.
A reason.
Period. Even we gonna all go through bad times. We all gonna go through that shit. But it's only to make you stronger. You know what I'm saying? It's only to make you stronger.
But hold on. So let me because I'm gonna get through this. So I see that. I mean, I hear that, and I've read this book that tells me what they believe, and it's already in line with what I feel like I've already come up to myself. And I feel like God is saying, your chaplain is the thing for you. And I have to get this master's degree in order to do it. And here's the school. They were very helpful.
You gotta put the work in.
They were very helpful. I had a full ride scholarship for like the first 2/3 of the classes. It was everything that I needed, right? And I get in and I'm struggling academically. I'm struggling from day one. I'm struggling every day. I'm struggling the whole time.
Pray God to give you understanding. Help you focus with that.
And so I actually go for like a year, 2 years, and then I took like a year off or like a semester off or whatever. Like a semester and a summer, you know what I'm saying? And eventually I got to basically what would have been my last year essentially. And I had lost my connection to God completely.
That happens. I do that.
I had lost my connection to God completely. And
may I ask what happened?
I
that sounds pretty devastating, bro.
It was.
what happened? If
You know how
you don't
easy
mind
it
me
is that
asking.
you can
I don't. The only thing I can say.
hold
The only
on,
thing I can
hold
say,
on.
and I don't want to. I really don't want to like disparage like the school that I attended. I think this is a problem with it, a lot of places. And obviously there are people that go through it, and I think the people that get through their degree are more than the people like me. I don't know, but I feel like really like I learned all I was taught was how everybody else did it, and I wasn't taught how to do it myself.
You said what? Say it one more
He
time.
was taught
I was
how.
taught how everybody. I was taught how everybody else did it, but I wasn't taught how to do it myself.
How everybody else did what?
Their relationship with God,
Okay.
religion, and that. You know what I mean? And
You said, but you never taught yourself?
But I was never taught how to do it myself, right?
Huh?
Like I was never taught to do it myself, right? Like there wasn't anything that was. I already look. I already have a relationship with God. I already got things that I'm doing.
I thought you
right?
told
I've
me.
had a walk with God before. As far as I'm
Exactly.
concerned, so hold on, let
In
me
the
hear
mountains.
me out. Hear me out.
I'm
So
lost.
so as what I'm saying is I wasn't given a space and an opportunity to develop my own. I was given a space to learn how other people did it.
Trying to teach you the way they
Their
did
way.
it. Yes.
Right.
This is
So
how
I'm
you're
not
supposed to
having,
be.
you know what I mean? I'm not really getting the time to do it myself, so to speak, because I'm spending so much time learning how everybody else is doing it. You understand what
But I
I'm
thought
saying?
that was part of like the part of the shit you was just
You couldn't
explaining to me earlier.
You couldn't
Remember we
interpret
asked you was it an
yourself.
oath? Remember we asked you was an oath? And I was like, damn, you just taught me some shit. I didn't know it was like that. Remember?
This school didn't require that, first of all.
Oh, okay. But I'm
That's
saying
why I
though.
chose it.
Okay, but I'm saying though, like
But
I didn't
that
even know
also-
that. I didn't even know that it'd be like that. And when you go into that,
A
so
lot of
it's like
churches have a confession of faith.
I did not know that. I didn't know that. But see, like what I'm saying is, you said you was at a school that didn't even require it.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
I had
ain't it
probably the
free-minded?
most free school I could have had. Like I had,
That's
if
free.
I was meant to be a
Free
chaplain,
thinking. That's free thinking.
it would have
to me.
happened.
I feel
And
like
this
that's free
school
thinking.
was the best school out of all the schools that are available for me.
So what
So
happened?
maybe you was
I
just
lost my
there for
connection
maybe
to God,
God.
bro.
Because you
Because-
said in your head you realized that you were being taught on how to
You said
like have the
why.
relationship.
I said I
Or
lost
why
my
it just
connection to
couldn't
God.
why it just couldn't be in that God had you there for that reason. Just for the experience. That's not meant what you're supposed to be, but you need this experience just a
We're
little
on
bit.
our way there. We're on our way there.
Why couldn't it be in that?
We're on our way there.
Could
Right?
be. Because you never
Look,
know.
if
that
I was
in
gonna
the
be a
game.
chaplain, bro, I'd be a chaplain. I promise you that.
You was
never
just there
know
for
that.
the
So listen.
experience.
So listen.
You could be whatever you want to be.
So listen.
Everybody, y'all could be whoever y'all want to be too. My fault. Go ahead.
So it was devastating. I spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money. I thought for sure. My heart was broken, bro. My whole life in my eyes was set. You understand? I was going to be happy. I was going to work until I died. I don't need a retirement.
Cousin Chiz,
You know what I mean?
you understand this though? God allow you to go through things like
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Like even that's what you wanted. That's not what God, because you asked God to motherfucking show him. You asked God to show you what He wants you to be.
One of
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear you
There's a want for you.
1,000%. I
There's a
hear you
want for you.
1,000%.
But you pray for those things to ask God, what you want me to do? What is my purpose? No matter how heartbreaking it is,
You
just
should talk.
learn an experience.
Talk to him.
I'm talking to you too, but yeah,
hearing
a
you. Talk to
learning
me
experience,
over
bro. I go through it all the time myself. I'm glad.
Nah,
I just had to put that out there.
Nah, that's good shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it
just
is.
cause.
No, you're right.
Because
You're right.
that's a self-want. That ain't
You're
what
right.
God wants you to do. And He's showing you that. And maybe your time there was just experience. This ain't your job and this ain't what I got you here for. I need you to know a little bit about this though. Let me season you a little bit. Stuff like that.
That sounds good. Just a little season.
For
Okay.
me,
Just a little season.
for me,
And you know y'all
after,
don't, and you know y'all don't usually season y'all food.
after that didn't
Nah,
work
I'm just
out, I go through a whole
Nah,
nother.
Chet know how to cook for real.
I don't know, not like.
Man,
got-
he seasons
I got a-
his food.
I got a couple-
I will
I got a
vouch.
couple meals.
I'll vouch and say
Salt
he
and
seasons
pepper.
his
All I do
food.
is salt and pepper. Like
Lying
any
now.
other country bumpkin.
Nah, I ain't lying.
So look, I'm almost there. So I go through a period of depression, right? Because now I've done spend all this money, all this time.
You know what that is.
I don't even have a connection to God. I don't want to
say
work for
two
no
words.
church. I don't want to work for a religious organization. So my bachelor's degree in Christian studies is almost no good. And what am I going to do with the rest of my life? You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was going to do that. Now I'm not going to do that. I had my whole life planned out, and now I have nothing planned out. And so I go through a period. Now, that's part of me and my life and my cycle.
Let me say it
I
real quick.
accept it for what it is. Go ahead.
That's where you're supposed to have if we talking about God and the belief in Him, that's when you put your faith in it. That's when you're supposed to do. Put your faith in it. Have understanding where He gonna have you.
Look,
He gonna
I don't
you in
have
the
faith.
end.
I have knowing. I don't work on faith. I work
But
on
if we
knowing.
pray to this God
that's
to
me,
show
and that's
us
my
things,
problem. But
how do you not
hold
have
on.
faith?
Here's one thing I know.
Let me-
I know God is there. See, for me, God is a mathematical reality. Everything equals one. Everything equals one. I don't care how many things you have. You add one more thing. You just added one more thing to the one. I don't care. You got multiverses, universes. I don't care. It's all one.
That was your struggle.
So to me, God is always present. I'm aware that God is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. But I also know that I can be my own block. I can misunderstand. I am human.
Yes.
So so it's like this. Sometimes when the water's muddy, the only thing you can do is let it settle. You hear me?
I hear you.
I'm not seeing clearly, so I gotta sit. That's what I realized that God had given me through depression, is He said, sit down, young man. You know what I mean? It's not always fun, believe me.
Man,
but
you
it
gotta
is what
look
it
at
is.
it. Listen,
so
listen.
look, so hold on. So I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
No,
So
hold on.
I'm almost there.
Let me
So,
finish, 'cause I got
but
a
see,
lot-
I already
I got a
know.
lot-
Like at this point,
I got a lot
I've
to
done
do.
depression enough. Like I know what I'm doing here. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this is what we gotta do. We gotta ride it out. Blah 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 blah. Now I'm not saying I'm making all the right choices, but you know what I mean. I'm riding it out. I'm eating. I'm drinking. I got food. I got
That's when you
shelter.
lost your faith
I'm
in
riding
God.
it out. I had already lost my faith.
Just saying.
My faith in God was already gone. My faith in God was gone before I dropped out / got kicked out, whatever. So I go for, like I said, for like a year, and I'm just holding on. I'm just sitting, waiting for the water to clear a little bit. I'm emotionally attached to this chaplain thing. I'm emotionally attached to all this money and time, and it's not working out, and feeling like a failure, and blah 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 blah. It is what it is. It took me a couple years, but I realized exactly what Renee just said. That he had took me there to give me some spice. It was another context to finish. What it was I had to learn that now what I needed to do was integrate all of that. My white country bumpkin, my brother, my grandma, my Navy, my
Chaplain.
every one of those contexts, to put them together, right? To integrate. Once I realized that's the goal, right? I'm like,
Uh-huh.
So basically, it's like, finally, it's like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just got this one last step. I got to put it all together. And how do I put that all together?
You pray to
Right.
God.
Well,
You pray Him to show you. That's what you do. You pray for Him to show you, because He's already done showed you.
I'm going to bring
He
it
done
back
already
around
took
to
you
the
through.
affirmations.
Right,
I'm going to bring it around to the affirmations. So then I'm like, who am I? What am I? I am a gregarious, fun, loving person that really enjoys helping people, especially if I can help people see through their own shadows, because sometimes it's easier for other people to see our shadows than it is for ourselves.
That's how it's
You know what I mean?
that's that
And
one.
sometimes God does put me in positions
3 years of that.
where I could meet a stranger and we could have a 10, 15, 30-minute conversation, and I've helped them in
just
some way,
build,
and now
yeah.
we've both been blessed
Just
because
build.
I've allowed God to use me the way that He's going to use me, whether I'm a chaplain or not, right? In moments in my time. And so then I'm like, so at the last part of the seminary thing was, there was this thing where I was being sponsored to create a podcast, but I was lost. And so what I realized is that I'm not meant to be attached to any label. I am Chet. I am not Quaker.
I get what you're
if
saying.
you say what Christianity,
I get what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, I get what
I'm
you're
not.
saying.
I'm not this. I'm not limited by their
anything.
labels.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
And I had to learn that too, and I had to get that confidence to say that I am my own label.
Yeah. Period.
And it was sweet for
Ooh,
you
did
to
you
say-
hear what the boy said? You're your own label.
You are. You definitely are.
Go ahead, Renee. What did you say?
I'm just saying, it's like how you were just saying earlier, like, fuck it, it just left my head. It's gonna come back to me.
It does that.
Fuck.
It's gonna be all right. You get it. But look, so in my situation, me personally, I lost in touch with what they call God or whatever. Cause I was taught my whole life from my mom. When I lost my mom, I felt like it had already just that was the last thing I had left, and now her too.
Right.
And then she had a real life job to do. It wasn't like she was ready to just get up out of here. You know what I mean? She had Ariana and stuff like that. So it's like she really had a job to do. Like she taking care of my brother that an overdosed daughter. Not because this nigga didn't pass in the car accident like my other brother. This nigga just playing with drugs, man. Being selfish. You feel what I'm saying? So once my mom, that's fine. I'm just saying. Well, my mom.
I got a hard question.
Yeah.
You think you did it on purpose?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think that either. I don't think that
Swill
either.
love life.
Sure
Swill
did.
really, really love life.
And he did.
Like he really, really loved life. And the
was
thing
an
was,
accident.
he
didn't
just
wanna be
that man.
I had
That
I
man-
mean, that's why I said I have a hard question.
Nah, man, that man thought he was fucking invincible, bro.
He really did.
Like real shit.
Tony Montana.
That nigga used to tell me like, big bro gone, now I got his strength. He like, now you got my strength. Like like, so you was as dangerous as I used to be, and now I'm just as dangerous as Tony is now. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, level up.
I used to be like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he used to throw me out, but like that's where I lost my in sync and my in tuneness with God. So, I definitely agree with your own label. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good one. That's really a good one. Especially in a spiritual realm because you know what I'm saying?
It's not about spirituality.
I ain't even never even been around the world.
What I realize is that's up to God, man.
I'm just saying I ain't never even been
That's up
around
to
the
God.
world. I ain't even ever been around the world.
I don't try to figure it out no more.
So look, you done been over there,
Over where?
just overseas.
Yeah.
And you done seen religions that we don't, bro.
Don't even
and it's-
exist over here.
They don't even talk about it. Oh, what? Christianity
Because them
where?
motherfuckers is real live about
Man,
their
I'm just
shit.
saying. I'm just saying. If
Stop,
you go to,
stop.
I'm just saying. If you go to any hotel right now, it's gonna be a Bible in the end table. Facts.
Just
But
tell
if you
them.
go to somewhere else, to another like country or something, it don't be no Bible in there.
I wonder about that
They don't
sometimes. I wonder
They don't
if
even celebrate it.
Chinese
You know,
people.
you get what I'm saying? It's a different custom in their hotels, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different custom in their hotels. Not saying
it's
they
a
don't have
different
Bibles.
custom over there, period.
It is because they don't.
They're not believing in no white man, let alone an American.
I'm not even
and
saying
even though he's
no
from
white
Jerusalem,
man,
wherever.
that's just a painting, man. We ain't talking about that, man. We ain't talking about.
I'm saying what the presentation is.
So to
What
kind
presentation
of
of pain?
wrap it up, because I want to
It's
get
just a pain.
I want to get to this affirmation part. Because remember, I start off by saying when I'm in high school, I've got an aunt that's a minister at a church that teaches us. I'm attending this church every Sunday. Loved it. You know what I mean? This is the first church that actually was the first place where somebody told me that God loves me unconditionally.
And died for
no
your
matter
sins
what.
on the cross.
But He loves
So
me
you could be here
unconditionally.
today.
Did you see that though?
But regardless of all that,
Did you see
God
it?
loves me unconditionally.
Did you see that?
And
What you just said. You wasn't there.
So, but anyway, I want to try to wrap this up a little bit because look, you remember you told me to kind of tell my story,
Yeah, I want to hear that.
and so
man.
I want to get up to now. So now, when I think about confirmations, I think about those gifts, and I think about all the things that I've been through. And when I think about podcasting, I believe it. I am a podcaster. You know what I mean? I'm already doing it. I'm at the beginning, and I'm doing it guerrilla style.
but that's comfort.
I just got my little iPhone and me.
But that's comfort zone, though. Can I be honest? That's comfort zone. If that's comfort zone for you,
And guess like Nay.
And guess like Nay, so.
But my thing is, if that's comfort zone for you, then I feel like that's healing to whoever.
But see, for me, like my money doesn't. I'm not concerned about anything except being. I'm not trying to do anything necessarily. I'm not trying to. I don't have some like I need a big bank and a big house and a da. No, I'm doing this because I know this is who I am.
It makes you feel good doing it.
That's
You
what I'm
know
saying.
It makes you
So
feel
now when I look in the mirror and I
comfort
say
zone.
that affirmation, when I say that, I can believe it. Whereas when I was 20 years old and I didn't know, I didn't have the experience to know. You know what I mean? So if I start lying to myself at 20 that I'm gonna be this, and this, and that, I don't even know it. And here I am. I spent 10 years studying. You know what I mean? Telling myself this whole time I'm gonna be a chaplain. God wants me to be a chaplain. Look at these signs that confirm that God wants me to be right here where I am. Look at these signs that say you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Everything was learning lessons.
And I thought this is all says you're going to be a chaplain, but it's not.
Yeah.
It was to get me here,
Stepping stones.
I could integrate all that, and I could understand.
And it don't mean you can't double back.
Right.
It ain't never too late.
But my thing is,
not-
they were stepping
that's-
stones.
ain't
They
never
were
too
stepping
late.
stones.
That's not what it's going to be though. I already know. I mean, it's not about failure to me now.
I'm saying it
it's
doesn't-
more like what Renee's saying in that I was brought there. I was right
Learning
where I was supposed to
You
be.
needed that.
You know what I
Learning
mean?
experiences.
I did. And I needed those people to help me kind of finish the product.
Or even help you with the little
Even though I didn't succeed in earning the degree and becoming a chaplain, I did what I needed to do.
But you were the product, is what you're saying. Like you needed that so it could finish what it did.
No, because he thought he was gonna be there.
So that I could
And that's why he
understand.
felt
Yeah, to
depressed.
get where you at now.
But
So I
what we
could
said, it
understand.
was learning
Yeah.
lessons, stepping stones.
It was about me. Sometimes you gotta be selfish. You
Yes,
gotta
you need to be.
You gotta put your
Who
mask
love you
on
more
first
than
before
you?
you can help people
You
put
hear
their
me?
mask on.
Fuck all
You know
that,
what I
man.
mean?
Who love you more than you?
My mama.
You think
My
your
mom loves
mama
me
love
more
you
than
more than you?
Yeah.
What?
My mom loves me more than I love
Shout
myself.
out Auntie. I love you, Auntie.
I don't even know you,
Watching.
Miss Lady, but that's beautiful.
I think
Real talk.
I mean,
her and my mama was like
Yeah.
this.
I wish I could have met my mom. She was white.
but
She was.
so now
So we all got one.
now
we all
when
got so-called white
now
moms.
when I say an affirmation, when I put something behind I am, see that's part of the affirmation too. Remember, I grew up with hip hop that is nothing but I am statements. And look, I'm listening to that, putting it in my head over and over and over. And that's not all clean shit to be putting in your head. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's not. I mean,
You know, especially
Do you know-
1990s. I mean, if you unless you were like restricting yourself to like Public Enemy
me and those, but we had those.
and Poor Righteous
Hey, listen,
Teachers.
but listen, we
and-
had that back then,
We
and
did.
guess what? We don't have that
Oh,
anymore.
and shout out to my man Speech. My man
know why?
follows me on Twitter.
Because the devil was the
Speech
angel
from
in
Arrested
heaven
Development.
of music.
Shout out Speech from
how you
Arrested
gonna get to
Development.
most of these
Okay,
people.
man, yeah. Shout out to
Mr.
shout out to
Window.
him. Shout out to him because we don't have enough of those. I mean,
Everyday people.
some of them really do like get some credit. You know what I mean? You got the J. Cole's, you got the Kendrick Lamar's. You know what
I
I'm
like
saying?
Kendrick.
You got a couple people. You know what I'm saying? That really, you know what I mean? But they ain't gonna them is on basically like the last two of the Mohegan. That's really because you got some other people that's out there fire. That's really talking. And they ain't gonna get him that type push though. You know what I mean? They just ain't gonna give him that type push.
The what?
Cause that ain't for
It's
some
not
reason
water
it ain't
savers,
they don't-
it's vitamin
that ain't-
The
water.
investors don't see it as big returns. That's really what that's
It's
about.
in my room on my thing.
So-
on
That
makes sense,
my
I guess.
list.
So you
on
know,
a business.
I want to go back.
And it's
'cause
the
you were-
Lay's
you were-
chips, and you got a half a sub in the microwave.
She on the
This
son.
this intermission is
That
brought to you
dinner
by
is my son.
Naenizzle.
Naenizzle's talking to
This commercial break
Sorry,
is brought to you.
and we're back.
kids is important. Though, it's my baby collar.
Yeah, and we're back.
So you were
I
talking.
went
You were
half
talking
on that
about
child.
your story, right? And your story is powerful too because I do believe you've had a walk with God. Am I wrong?
Now that would right here, I don't know because he'd be so against it on some things.
Talk to me.
Do his beliefs.
When I say walk with God, what say?
What about?
He don't believe in God.
Like I
You
would
believe
say,
in a higher power.
Let him talk.
You
Let
don't
him
believe
talk.
in God.
Let him talk.
When I say walk with God, I would.
When I say God, it's not necessarily the God in the clouds.
Yeah,
God.
that ain't the one.
For me, God is the everything. Go ahead.
That's not.
And that's why you use the terms higher power.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So higher power. So you gotta walk with higher power.
Yeah. So I have had that discussion where I just really try to open up and just hear and feel, and it's kind of like what he was talking about with the law of attraction.
Go ahead.
It really was
Talk
to me. It really, that's what it was, like complete, like that's why it be the peace for me. I want it to be peaceful.
Yeah.
Like I really don't want no smoke. I'm really with it because that's my background, but I don't want none of that for real. Because once I had that experience, like it like I said, like it was kind of, that's why I said that earlier, and it was crazy. She knew all three when she said that shit too. I'm like, damn, she caught all three about the asking for humbleness and forgiveness, and ask for patience. She knew all three. I'm like,
I pray for them. I pray for them myself.
But like that
myself.
used to be what I used to ask for. Like, man, humble me, man, because I'm just too turned. Like literally, that's how I used to feel.
Yeah.
So once I had that experience, and I'm like that's why I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't believe in God. I do believe it's a higher power, because if it wasn't just losing my mind for me to be like, nah, I don't believe in God no more, and then go really completely off the chain, and then for me to have that experience, and now it's like, nah, I know it's really about my kids. So now, like, they are my gods, if that makes sense.
No, it's your conscience.
Like I live for them. Like,
they are responsibility.
Like, I live for them now. Like I don't really live for nothing else. Like my nephews, my nieces, but all of them involved too. You know what I'm saying? Like CJ, CJ called my phone like, bro, what? It's on. Yeah, come get it. And so if I got it, you got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And that's sweet, bro.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that's how I feel about that situation. Now, remember I was saying earlier, where I was like, if God knows everything in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like he know from the beginning to the end to the beginning. Why would you have to pray to him or ask him for anything if you know what you need? Or if you know if you're struggling?
Because you're supposed to have that faith.
No, it ain't even about that.
It's just faith.
No, it ain't about that. This
it's
what
like
it is.
Working for, you want somebody to put some in your lap.
Hold on real quick. This is how I feel.
Put no work in behind.
Hold on. This is how I feel. It's about meditation. Like just getting in your space, in your head, and all that stuff you hear is blocked out. And what you hear is what you need to be doing.
You know how I feel about it?
Like just like you said, you might be like, okay, well that's what like you said, that's what you needed to do at that time. That's the experience you had to go through at that time.
Well, everything I've
you know what I'm saying?
Like brought me to this moment.
Like,
It's made me who I am in this moment and prepared me for this moment.
Because the thing is, man, like, I done seen people walk out the church, just was in there falling out and doing all that. I was from Baptist when I was growing up, y'all, just to let y'all know. That was the put your hand on your head, and then people fall out and act crazy, and they gotta, if it's a woman, they gotta come and put a drape over your goddamn dress and shit, so nobody see your little shit. Yeah, that whatever that was. So I'm from there, that era. Okay, anyways, I'm from that era. So at the end of the day, when I used to see that, first off, it didn't make no sense to me, because this person about to get up, walk outside when church over, spark a cigarette right in the front,
In the parking lot.
and get to talking about how good service was, puffing a cigarette, man, blowing his smoke everywhere, bro. Like, I don't want to, bro. I'm not judging nobody though. You know what I'm saying? Like they own addictions, Like I was young though. Just seeing that was crazy. I mean, I smoke cigarettes to this day, but like I said, I ain't judging nobody.
But in your mind, it was like you felt like people at that level, they should be at a certain level.
Man,
but then
not only that, discreet at least.
I ain't even gonna say fake Christians.
At the very least, discreet. Like, what in the world?
It be Christians that feel like if I go to church every Sunday, if I pray every day, and a cigarette is nothing, but it is something. Your faith ain't all the way with God. You 50-50.
But see,
I got one of my feet over here.
But for
one of my
me,
feet
like
over
it's
here.
not like all of us are imperfect, right? So
Exactly.
like,
That's how I feel.
I was
ain't no
baptized.
judgment.
I was actually
Repent,
baptized Catholic, right?
And then you repent, then right?
So I was
When
actually
you know,
I was actually baptized Catholic. So in the Catholic faith, you go through confession where you sit in a little thing, you
And the
tell
little
the
booth
priest,
thing.
repent.
right?
No,
And
that's not the same.
It is there is a
It's-
repentance. It is part of that, but they call it confession, and the priest forgives you in the name of the
This
Father.
man
and
on
Son,
earth
and
is
Son,
sitting here
and
forgiving
And
you.
so, but I remember walking into
sorry.
confession one time, and the priest is in his office smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, "This is weird."
I ain't about to confess to this boy.
I thought we were gonna take like the little box with the little screen, and you were gonna sit over here, and I was gonna sit over here, and I was gonna tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets. And this man's just sitting there, just, "How you doing? How you doing? Are you all right? Good to see you."
He was letting
And I'm
me
like,
know what was going on.
and then he looks at me and he sees like the look on my face. He's like, "Well, do you want to go to the little box?
It's like, because we can do that.
Do you want it to be all formal and
Yeah,
shit?"
because we can do that.
And then I was like,
It's a movie
"No, I
shit.
actually don't want it to be all formal."
Yeah, I
You
want
know
to be
what I
real.
mean? And there was part of me that like judged him for smoking a cigarette.
Mm.
It's like,
He
how
knew
is this man going to
perception.
forgive me for my sins? And he's smoking a cigarette. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like,
He only
at
human.
the same time, like, exactly.
Not only
he's
that,
only human.
not only is he only
he's
human,
just a human, and he's
now-
here for what? To help me.
He gotta repent
do what I
too.
need
Remember I
to
was
do.
saying? A
I
conduit.
He gotta
conduit to
repent
do
too,
what I
bro.
do.
A conduit.
So, because to
He's
me, I
just a
don't
conduit.
expect any human to be perfect.
He's
I
just a
don't.
conduit.
You know, we're all going to do what we need to do. And hopefully the relationships I
What
like
it
is
is-
what I can do for you. Sometimes you do for me, and then I do for you. I like win-win relationships.
Always. Ain't no 50,
He left us
50,
with
it's 100, 100.
choices.
Right. And it's win-win.
Choices. He
Yeah.
left us with choices, man.
He did leave us with choices. But
just-
so,
it ain't
to
gotta
me,
be his
if somebody comes up
choices,
and they spark a blunt and they start talking to me about God, I'm not going to be like, you can't talk to me about God because you're smoking a blunt.
Period.
I am. That's the difference between me and you. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro.
But we're doing
I
it
don't
right
know.
now.
Nah, because I'm
Sure
like, nah, I
is.
don't want to talk about that.
Sure.
What do you
is.
mean? We're talking
Y'all
about God,
been
right? We've been talking about God for
for like
56 minutes
45
and
minutes.
54 seconds.
Man, we was talking about affirmations.
We've been talking
And
about
God.
We was
We've
talking
been
about
talking,
affirmations,
bro.
man. I remember when we was talking about. I don't believe in God. I believe in a higher power, though. I know it's something.
But
I believe.
affirmations is part of that because it's how we interact with the universe. And if you're gonna say that your
Yeah.
mindset
Now
and
you talking.
affirmations is how we're
you
interacting with
talking.
the universe,
But, hold on.
right? So don't get it mixed up.
But I don't
'cause when
believe in
look,
astrology
When
either,
I
though.
say God, bro, you got to understand that I'm not talking about Zeus on the mountain of Olympus.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
talking about some guy that's sitting up with a book.
Or
Justin did
what
this.
she talking
And
about
Justin
on the
did that.
picture.
Or the picture, none
Yeah,
of that.
none of
I'm
that.
not talking about none of that.
man.
I'm talking about this thing that is bigger than us, what you call higher power. So please, when I say God, just be like, Chet said higher power.
Yeah, the creator.
You know what I mean?
The creator.
The creating.
Yeah, the creator. That's what I'm saying. If I
So
can
do y'all
create-
believe in Genesis?
What? If I can create. No, I don't believe in none of that.
So how you think we got here?
What do you mean?
How do you think it became?
How do
How do you think
got
we
here?
was becoming?
You
Because I believe in God.
No, I'm saying, do you
I
believe in
believe in
Genesis?
God.
You're not
Yes,
saying
I
that right
do.
now. You're saying I believe in the Bible.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
do.
you're saying
Right now,
you
right
believe
now,
in-
you're saying I believe in the
And
Bible.
that, do you,
You believe in
check this
Adam
out.
and Eve?
Hold on, check this out real quick.
That's
You know,
what
that's
saying?
what I told you earlier, not even to say it now, but need a podcast. How you know what the fuck to believe in? White men people done did so much people to have control over things. It's a Bible out here now that you're supposed to read and you're supposed to go by. Also believe in manifestation though. There are several things that I believe in, like in Jerusalem, where y'all claimed he was at.
Okay, but
Y'all-
what do you believe?
Hold on. I believe in God. I believe in Christianity, bro. That's how I was
The Bible.
raised. I believe in the Bible.
Okay.
I do not believe everything in the Bible is right. So now I get confused sometimes to where it make me salty where I pray so hard. And I read my shit. I'm sorry for cussing. I read my Bible. And then be other things that contradict in the Bible, that contradict what the hell it's saying. So I'll sit here and tell y'all, I am confused sometimes on what to follow.
Look,
People be like, meditation, higher power, you fucking manifest, Tony. And then you're supposed to go by this book. And if you don't, but everything that's happening in the bottom of the Bible, Revelations, it's coming out. It's coming out. But it's like The Simpsons. How I know these white people just are motherfuckers just ain't controlling it. to make it happen like that, to make you have faith in that. I get lost in sometimes what I'm supposed to believe, but I do believe in God. But there's so many times I done cried. I ain't never prayed to nobody else as hard as I done prayed to this motherfucker.
What do you?
And he brought me out of situations. And you know what that could be?
Hey, when you've been in those,
hold on.
listen.
No, listen. When I pray like that and things do happen for me, how come it ain't manifestation though? I believed in myself. I knew I was gonna come out of it. How come it ain't that? Because ain't that what manifestation is? To sit and pray and be like, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do this. Have a belief in something, right? I get so confused on what to believe in. I want to believe in the right thing, though.
Hold on. What
Even
do you
though I'm
believe
a
in when
sinner.
you pray? Let me interject. When you get to those points where you're saying, I pray, I'm on my knees and I'm crying.
Crying.
What do you believe right then? What in that moment are you praying to? What is it that you believe you're praying
God.
to?
That's
But
the
no,
word I
no.
was taught. God.
Yeah, but
I
what
was
is
taught
it?
that the Son
What
of
is it?
the Son of God,
what's it
Jesus,
feel like?
died on my sins.
No. Answer my question though. What is that? What does it feel like?
God.
Sin?
God, bro, I can't. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I pray.
What is it? What is it though?
God.
What
I
is it?
understand that,
Sometimes
but it like.
myself too. And you put in the work to make it happen.
But what I'm saying is when you
And that's when
like
you're not
look,
just sitting
hold
and
on. This
say,
is what I'm
I
trying to
get
do.
confused.
This is what I'm trying to do.
Listen.
In that moment when you're crying and you're on your knees and it's just you.
I am
and God.
praying to
Hold
this
on, hold on,
white
hold on,
man
let
they
me-
talk about in the Bible.
Is it really, or are you praying to this other thing that's in this?
There's no
inside
other
you?
thing. There's no other thing. I have faith in myself.
Okay.
But also, you have to have faith in something else. There's something else. Like y'all play for a higher power. Y'all praying to something outside of yourself, right? When you pray to a higher power.
Yes.
I
it's
pray to
something
God.
Outside of ourselves.
I believe that. I believe it.
Inside,
Full blown.
outside.
It's still somebody outside of you.
Inside.
It's not you. You have faith in yourself, but you praying. What you say? You get up. Grand risings. Good morning. Motherfucking got them all of that. Come on, bro. Help me with that. You ain't gotta help me. You pray to somebody outside of yourself, right? I believe it's somebody ever. You call it a higher power. I call it God. I call it God. And I prayed to this motherfucker, and look where he brought me from. And that was my real life faith, even though I sin. Because I'm only human, but I sin. Do you know how today I am so tired? I'm tired of myself for repenting for the same bullshit I keep doing. And I know better. Do you know how it blows me out the water? And all I can do is just God pray. And there's got to be somebody there that's humbling me enough to be like, bitch, it's okay. And even though I know I'm doing wrong, y'all, boy, I pray. And I'm just like, Jesus, I'm sorry. He like, what do you do? This motherfucker died on my sins. For me to motherfucking repent over and over until I get it. And you know what I pray for now? God, show me the way. Please, bro, take full control of my life because I don't want to go to hell. I want people to listen. I do believe in that.
Ain't no such
If that's
thing.
for you, then
no such
listen to me. That's for you. I'm talking about me. I believe in God. I believe in the devil. You hear me? I believe in Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit. I believe in the devil and the devil and Satan. Yes, bruh. Because what is that? When you're praying so hard to do something so good, what is that pulling you from it? Hey, that's when them phone calls come through. Man, the devil get to testing you. Didn't we just talk about that, Chaz, earlier? Motherfuckers get to testing you. What is that? What is that?
What you mean what it is? What is it?
The devil, bruh.
That's the devil?
For me, it is. For me, it is. Why you shake your head? And
But hold on,
don't do
David,
that to
hold on.
me,
I hate
bro.
that you say that because
Don't do that to
Remember
me.
when
Because
you
don't-
say you pray for patience, he gives you opportunities to practice your patience?
And he do.
But
So you
hold
have
on,
a choice.
Put
You
that
have a
all,
choice.
Put that all together.
I know.
Put that all together.
Integrate.
But I'm only human.
But hold on,
I'm
listen to
only
what you
human.
just said. You said, I pray and I pray and I pray. Right? For this.
Cousin Chaz.
And then you say, why is God putting these obstacles in my way?
To make you stronger.
Okay.
How you ever gonna be? How
is
you
that
ever
the
gonna
devil?
grow? How you ever gonna grow if
Is
you
that
don't
the devil?
motherfucking learn
Is that
from
the devil?
something? What?
Is
What
that
else?
the devil?
Who's against God?
But what I'm
Who's
saying is
against
God
God?
is
And I'm
answering
saying
your
and
prayer.
telling you that's what I believe in.
But I'm
Who's
using
against
what
God?
you're believing.
You are.
I'm using your own words. to help you see your own logic.
I see it, y'all. I see it.
So
I
did you
done
hear what he
lived it.
said?
I believe in the devil.
Did you hear what he said?
I hear you. I don't have
No,
to
did
agree
you hear
with
what
that.
he said? I didn't
I'm
say
not.
anything.
This is what you told me. I'm not telling you what I believe right now. I'm telling you what you have already told me.
Right.
You said when I pray for humility, for patience. I'm gonna use patience, right?
Okay.
When I pray for patience, God gives me what?
Trials and tribulations.
Exactly. Right. So hold on.
How?
Wait, Renee.
So you
we're
can
almost
build
there.
your shit
Renee,
up.
we're almost there. Listen. Then you said, I pray for this. I pray for this over and over and over, and I don't know why. Then the devil shows up. Right? Hold on, because I'm not done yet.
Okay.
But what is it the devil or is it God saying, I am giving you these trials and tribulations so that I can answer your prayer?
Both.
No, so I can
It's
answer
both.
your prayer so you can practice patience. Listen
That's
to
cool
what
though.
he's saying.
But who's gonna come and attack you though? The fucking devil. He is just as real as God. That's like double or triple the more things that I have to work through.
You
know, I get it, but do
you might as well
y'all
worship
get
the
it?
devil then. Yeah, that's what I get.
And that's why I still sit here and
You
I
might as
talk
well
so
worship the
deeply
devil.
about God, but I have a bottle in my hand.
She might as well worship Lucifer. That was the other
It's
word
not
she was
cool,
looking
bro.
for.
I
Say
said
what?
Lucifer, Satan and Lucifer, the devil
No, you
and
said
Satan.
Satan and devil.
Okay,
yeah.
but
You didn't
still,
say
why
Lucifer.
would you say I might as well?
Because that's what the Bible says name is.
Okay, then that's
see,
cool,
that's the thing,
fine,
though.
but why would you say like I might
when
as
you
well?
pray for your
Chill.
life? Why when you pray for your life and those trials and tribulations are the devil, but when you pray for patience, that's God helping you strengthen yourself from patience.
It
Why
is.
are those two different?
I said it could
Why
be.
is it?
I said it could be both.
It's
Because
not
when
both.
How can
because
it
you
be
know
both?
why? The devil know me at this moment. He got me in some type of worldly way, drinking, smoking, fornicating, doing everything that the
got
Bible ain't
yourself
supposed to
doing all
fucking
that.
do.
Tell
Ain't
her
nobody else
again.
got you doing that but you.
Right.
Ain't nobody but you doing that.
That's what I said. She her worst
It's
enemy.
true. I'm not.
said
I
choice.
am right.
You said
But it is choices.
Exactly. So why are you
it is
making that
choices.
choice?
Because that's what I chose to make. Because you know why?
So is
I'm
it
human.
the devil
I'm human.
or is it Renee's choice?
Thank you. Talk to her, chat. Talk to her, please, because she don't hear from me,
I
bro.
do.
But hold on.
I
like,
do.
really?
My bad. I ain't mean to get loud.
That ain't even cool. You know what?
I just
Let me
said I
just
didn't
tell you
mean to get
this.
loud. I just said I mean to get loud.
Hey, when I pray for things,
Yeah, it didn't.
motherfucking enemy shit come along. And I
Yes.
choose the wrong way.
But we just.
And that's a personal choice, obviously.
So where's the devil?
But why it can't be a spirit? Because when I'm drinking right here, it's fucking spirits. Swear to God.
So why?
Swear to God.
So hold on. So
Because
why?
when I'm
Indulge
praying to
in those
God,
spirits.
you know what?
I'm
Because I
really-
can pray to God and do my thing for like 2 months. Stay away from people, stay real life focused. Even when I go on the outside world, even when if it's just to work or anything, it is so fucking hard, but it's choices. Faith. Faith. Like I said before, it's fucking faith, bro.
Yeah, but you say
Faith.
that faith in what?
Faith in what I believe in. I believe in God and I believe in the devil too.
Is it possible just like to take the Christianity kind of aspect out of it, just like
Just for
That's what I
second.
believe
the
in.
rule? Hold on, but the
That's what I
hold on.
believe in, though.
But hold on, but what? But you believe in what?
I believe in God,
Okay,
and I believe
What
that
is-
yes, I'm
and you say-
always fucking up.
and you believe
And
in
what
a
he gonna
God.
keep-
You believe in a God that you can pray to, right? Because He's already forgiven.
Y'all
your
pray
sins.
to the higher most.
Because He's already forgiven your sins.
It's like
right?
praying and looking in the mirror and praying
Answer
to
me.
yourself for manifest.
Answer my question.
Yes. Say it one more time, cousin Chess. I'm sorry, because I feel so strongly
but you-
sometimes in what I say.
But I know, but sometimes you don't listen either. You know what I mean?
I'm
And I've heard you, and I'm trying to help you use your words.
Y'all trying to make me
'Cause
believe
I'm
what
not
y'all
trying to
believe.
No. I'm not. I am not.
I'm explaining the
promise
best way
you,
I
I'm
can,
not trying
bro.
to make. I'm trying to
I'm
understand what
explaining.
you believe.
You know what
so
I
that I
mean?
can help you put it. So I can help you with what you,
You know what I mean?
believe.
You know
Put
what that
these two
means?
pieces
I'm not
that you
strong in my
believe.
word.
Here's the
Because
thing,
everything
Renee,
you talking
Renee.
about, if I was in my
Renee.
word like the way I was
Hold on.
supposed to, I'll be able to answer
Listen
every
to me.
question that you talking
Listen to
about.
me. You are saying two things that don't go together.
I
You have
don't.
two beliefs that don't jive. You've got a belief that this devil is coming after you when you pray to this God that you believe in. And you have a belief that this God loves you so much that he's going to answer your prayers and he's going to give you child.
You gotta put in work,
Now let me
though.
finish. Listen to me, please. Because these two things they don't go together.
No, they don't.
They don't go together. And
No,
so
they don't,
what I'm trying to
Chaz.
help you do is I'm trying to help you realize that they don't go together so you can choose which one you want.
Okay, so check this out.
Because there's one over here and there's one over
Check
here.
this out. Before I start this conversation, didn't I say sometimes I don't know what to believe?
Yes.
That's just on one side. That's just dealing with
That's
God.
exactly why. But why don't you know? Because you've got two thoughts that don't go together.
That's not even dealing with devil
so
and
that,
God.
That
That's
creates
this
a confusion for you.
a higher. Yes, I am
And
confused
I'm trying to help
sometimes.
you. I'm trying to help you.
How do you
figure this
know?
out.
How do you know?
What you mean? How do I know?
How do you know? I'm talking about just what to believe in.
I don't worry about it.
You just pray.
I don't worry about.
So what do you do
I mean,
then?
I spend a lot of time.
What do you do then?
I don't.
When you don't know and you want to truly believe in something, what do you do?
I wait and I listen.
I pray.
I listen.
I
That's
pray
how
hard
I
as
pray.
fuck.
Because God already knows what I need. I need to listen.
See, you believe in it.
I do believe in God.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't go to 3 years of seminary.
Right,
Got a bachelor's
and I
degree
believe in him too.
But I don't work with the labels and all that, right? I work with I have my
I don't
own
even go to
relationship with God.
church.
You got a relationship with God. That's why I'm listening to you. Tell me what your relationship is like,
Yeah.
so that I can hear these things that don't jive, right? Because right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you do this. Because once you can do that,
Come to an understanding.
we're gonna be less confused.
Right. And I let you know in the beginning I was confused. I do.
You did, yeah.
I feel like just
And a lot of
I
us
was-
are.
Yes, and like Cousin Chess, I just want to believe in the right fucking thing, bro. I just want to do the right thing, even though I'm grown and God, the higher or whatever, give us the most power to. You have choices. You have choices. You have to be
You
willing.
have choices.
You have to be willing.
But you have choices.
I do, and I choose to drink.
Right.
I know that, and I know it's a sin. Then
I'm
I
not
also
worried about whether it's a sin. It's the
Man, then
fact
I
that you
just
know
sat
it's not
here.
helping you. It's an obstacle for
I
what you
just sat here and said though.
in order to answer your prayer. This is an obstacle.
This is a spirit.
Okay, and I'm saying there's a spirit that's not intoxicating like that.
Yeah.
This is a different kind of intoxication.
I know that. I know that.
You know.
I know. I'm just saying though.
And I'm saying that's a distraction. And so you've got these two things, and I'm just trying to help you.
I get what you're saying, but
just
I
trying to
already
help.
I know that. To where drinking is not gonna bring you closer to whatever the fuck you believe in, Renee.
I mean, you're gonna do what you need to do. I mean, you know, there's
It's
a
gonna
reason why you're
enable you.
choosing that. You're choosing
It's
that
gonna throw
because
you
you've got
off.
some kind of pain that you don't want to feel.
Period. And
Right.
it be that. Just sometimes, do you know, I think about that too, and I feel stupid sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to blame my drinking on just because I went through something. I choose to drink today is because I like drinking.
But it's not. It's because you don't want to feel that.
I do feel it. But that's him.
But I'm saying you drink to try to numb it.
Not everything. Sometimes it's an addiction.
Yeah.
It ain't got to be
At
I'm
this
covering
point.
something. It's an addiction. Sometimes. Cousin Chet, your podcast is lit, bruh. You got me crying in here in a minute. Because, okay? He got to invite me back some more, y'all. Because this is lit in here. I like this. This is like therapeutic for me, though. Because it's like people I don't even hang around people, but the people I hang around ain't this deep. And it also is like I talk to myself about it, and I'm like, I need outside
I
myself. to
strongly
understand.
feel like part of the problem is we don't talk to each other enough.
Right.
And we don't realize that all of us are going to struggle. I'm not trying to sit over here and say I got all the answers by any means. I'm just saying I've been climbing this mountain for a minute, and I know a couple paths.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You said I got a couple experiences, like you said,
You know
Renee,
what I mean?
earlier.
Yeah, like I've had these same questions. I've had these same struggles, right? I used to drink heavily. Now I did my drinking like 16 to 22. You know what I mean?
On the younger days.
I didn't start drinking until I was like
But
25.
nice after that, I was like, I really don't like being drunk no more.
I ain't started drinking till my mom passed.
Right? Really?
Like real shit.
Well,
All the little drinking I used to do back then was super recreational. When my mom passed, I'm like, yeah, we about to, yup,
Numbness.
we gonna do this. For sure. But the thing about it also is too, like, like my level of control when I'm like that, you wouldn't it's usually you don't ever even know.
I disagree.
Nah, for real. It's usually you'll never even know, for real. To be all the way honest.
I believe that when I drink.
It'd be the triggers sometimes.
Yeah,
like
but sometimes, man.
If it's this, yeah, it might trigger me. Or if it's that, it might trigger me. Oh shit. Now I'm, Go ahead there.
It's another one of my kids, just my daughter this time.
Okay, go back there and talk.
Well, I gotta go back, Mikey.
Go back there and talk to her.
Oh my God.
Damn, because now I want my one-on-one, too.
He said I want my one-on-one.
Damn, you going back there, man. Damn, what's up, cuzzo?
I love you, man.
I love you too, cuzzo. But, yeah, so, far as, were you, mind if I kind of
Feel free.
interview you? Okay.
Feel free.
Where you feel like this is going?
Where I feel like what's going?
This right here. Where you want to do?
This moment?
Nah. Man,
This podcast.
Chit-chat with Chet. Yeah, chit-chat with Chet.
Chit-chat with Chet.
Yeah, chit-chat with Chet.
I think that the people with the ears to hear will hear, and the people with the eyes to see will see. And I don't know what to expect really. I want to make them better. I want to remember to look at the camera. Eventually, I want to grow it to a point where it's making money, so I can invest money into it. And I mean, that's not to say I won't invest money into it, but right now, I'm kind of taking some advice from people that have been there before, right? And that advice was given. Mr. Beast, I think I mentioned him. He just said, like, don't expect a lot in the beginning, just make each one better. Now, he's talking about a whole different kind of style of making content. But for me, I firmly believe that I have a unique perspective.
Definitely
and a unique way of interacting with people.
And you've been everywhere.
And I have a freedom of thought that I want to stand up for. I think it's important that we as citizens, as people, look, at the end of the day, man, nothing really matters. No, let me say that. Nothing matters.
As far as what?
In the span of infinite eternity.
Yeah, you're right. You know what I heard? You know what I heard today? You know what I heard today?
But
he said at the end, actually, because we didn't get there. But shout out to Prince EA again.
Right.
He said at the end, he said, everybody dies.
Yeah, none of us get out of here alive, bro.
That's exactly what he said. So you gotta just live the best life you can.
Well,
and when you want to be more in a happy space, mentally, emotionally,
but what does that mean
and
when
physically,
you say the best life you can? Is that the best life for you?
No, just being content and being comfortable. And if you don't feel that way, go get that way. However way you gotta do it, go. You know what I'm saying?
But I.
Because look,
I
think
there's
also
a selfishness that comes with that people, not necessarily the way you mean it, but the way other people interpret it, that ends up where we start creating a lot more suffering for other people, whether it's people around us or people in the future.
No, not necessarily not being open-minded.
You can find contentment like they did 1,000,000 years ago next to a creek, fishing with your wife and kids. You know what I mean? Sleeping in your tent and having nothing but the basic necessities. You can be content.
Hey, I was thinking about doing that shit.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people can't be content. Don't play with me.
So they got, a closet full of shoes and a Bugatti.
No. And if that's what you want, work towards that. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm
and good luck with it.
That usually don't bring contentment.
I mean, not nothing materialistically
it brings
can bring
smiles,
you contentment.
It brings pleasure.
No, nothing.
And I'm
nothing
not saying
materialistic
can't be content.
Man, nothing materialistic can be none of that. Cause think
right,
about high fashion. That should go away fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
It's like a recycling era.
Man, that's what I was gonna say earlier about the Revelation shit. Like, as far as like in the book of Revelations, how they saying stuff is happening in like today. Man, that shit been happening. I remember back in '98, they was like, hey, look, in the book of Revelation, stuff is happening, y'all.
They always do.
Twin Towers happened. When the Twin Towers went down, they like, look, the book of Revelation said that. Look, like, you feel me? But like, literally, bro. That's why I'm like, I'm not waving
That's
it
what
off.
Jesus was saying actually at the time.
Man, That's what
He was like, the time is near.
We in the time of revelation.
Every,
And that's what they say.
They've been
saying that for a long time. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus was saying it. Jesus was like, we're in the end times. The time is near. He was saying it right then.
You don't know nor the day, nor the time, nor the hour.
Right.
Like,
but he was saying it's coming. He was saying it's here. I think somebody double checked me, but pretty sure that's what he said. But so you had asked me where the podcast is going. Yeah. That's all. I just want to grow.
Good pickup.
I just want to grow. Honestly, I really feel strongly about the things I just said, and I feel I can be good at this if I just am consistent and I maintain being myself. And anybody that's watched anything and seen it before, I feel like I'm already canceled. I go into it. Nobody's got no money over my head. I really don't want to get into a position where people are like, hey, you got to behave this way and do this.
No, what about the sponsors? Would you do sponsors though?
I will do sponsors, but I have to have my freedom.
Yeah, as long as it's still okay.
I mean, you're gonna have to know that I'm gonna say some things that like people are not gonna like sometimes, and if that's not part of what you want to advertise, then you should go in knowing.
But when you say like, well, people who are the people that's not gonna like it, like
people that's watching. Everybody ain't gonna agree with it.
There's a bunch of Karens out there that report you because you said, because of something I've said. You know what I mean?
They don't report you for talking about God.
In my speech.
I don't think.
You know what I mean? If I say something that people don't agree with, you know what I mean? Like, and especially on the like hyper political topics, whether we're talking about abortion or race relations or blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like,
what's wrong with race relations? I thought race relations. I thought we was over that.
That's how I got here.
I'm just saying that I might say something that's not politically correct.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick.
Popular view.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Do y'all remember where they did not have that going on TV?
Definitely.
Like, do y'all know that is everywhere in the commercials
do you
and
know
everything?
My mom and dad was one of the first ones, probably about relationships.
They weren't the first ones, but do y'all understand that
is era was going on?
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Isn't it crazy to think that it was like 1960s when it was still illegal?
Yeah, and that was like 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago.
A generation ago.
People was
that was 2 days ago, bro.
That's how I got here.
Man, that shit was first 48
my daddy black and my mama white.
Hours ago.
But
that was what? Yeah, man.
But you know what I can say though?
Just yesterday.
My dad's side was more racist, and they the black ones, than my mom's side. My mom's side was more acceptance to it.
Really?
Swear to God.
Yeah. She said her Negro side was like those fucking
crackers. And my white people, man, my daddy just went.
And your white side was like
dying in the hospital now.
Your white side was like, we like those niggers.
My grandmother is in the hospital.
You talking about that type stuff, right? You talking about that? You talking about that type stuff?
Yes,
oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
My bad. As long as we don't say the and Jews. As long as we don't say those words together, we're good, I think.
Bruh.
We're good, I think. As long as we want to talk about
that's
those
what I'm
people.
saying. I don't want to be worried about nothing because if I have a thought, I want to be able to express it. You know what I mean? Part of the thing about like my style is this is free conscious streaming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is reacting to the moment. Really, that's what I enjoy doing. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I enjoy talking about deeper topics. I enjoy talking about, the higher end topics that really affect more than just one or two people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
because we all going
like
through
that's
it
like
people
like gossip.
When I walked in, you was
talking about another person.
Like when I walked in, you was telling Baby Mom, he was like, man, communication is key. Like it really is. Enough people don't just talk. Like don't bottle that shit up, bro.
Or they don't know how.
They don't know
how. They don't know how to express themselves.
It's scary to be vulnerable. Because a lot of people will take advantage of you.
But not only that, it's like
people take being vulnerability as weak sometimes.
But like, do you want to do?
They do, and then they want to attack you.
But do you want to do that?
Because they're like, oh, this person's weak, so almost.
But do you want to do that to a person that's gonna use that against you, or you want to do that to a person that you know gonna keep it solid?
Well, that's where we got to figure out who's going to
When
be
you
solid.
just holding the topic, you holding the
Usually
topic.
a complete damn stranger gonna be more solid than you. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
Swear to God.
family's like the
A
worst.
complete damn
I believe that
stranger,
all day
man.
long.
A complete
Your mom will
goddamn
sit there and be like,
stranger.
"I want you to be able to tell me anything."
Man,
I can't
tell
do
you.
that.
Like,
I
bro,
can't tell you everything.
My brothers was crazy though. They was on crazy.
I have a
shit.
good relationship with my mom too, but I don't tell her everything, and I had to learn that because she was like, "You can tell me anything." I'm like, "No, I can't."
Not in real life.
You don't want to hear this?
It sounds good.
You don't want to hear this?
But my brothers used to do that though. And it's
gotta
crazy
wait
because
some
me and my
years.
mom never really had that relationship for real.
I gotta wait like 5-10 years. Then
It wasn't even like I was trying to. It wasn't like I was trying to keep it from her. It was just like I ain't want to break her heart. I think that's why I used to lie and shit. For real, like I ain't never lied to keep from an ass whooping. I lied to not hurt your feelings. I wasn't worried about nobody doing nothing to me.
You a carer. You like,
I wasn't
I'm a
worried about
sinful
nobody
ass
doing
nigga
nothing
though.
to me.
See, that's one of the things.
I was
Sometimes
never worried
some
about
people
nobody
you can't
doing
tell
that to
them
me.
nothing because they start taking it personal, or it triggers them. Or they
It's
get
a
caught
whole
in their
nother
feelings.
podcast, y'all.
You know
I
what
mean, are you allowed to tell the truth
Renee's
these
trying to pull our
days?
collar. She's like, y'all switching the topic.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
because
Are
that's
we allowed
not.
to tell the
Because
truth?
I got a whole lot to say behind that.
I-
We about
I-
to be here for a whole nother 2 hours.
It ain't that.
said-
Are we
It
allowed
is
to
that.
tell? Are we
It
allowed?
is that.
Are we allowed to tell the truth these days? Transparently.
People only
That's
tell
all
their own truth. They tell what they want you to know. They're not all the way 100, no matter what they say. They're going to only
Yeah.
say what they want you to know.
Do you want? What do you want to know?
I
Do
don't
you want to
know
know the
nothing.
100%?
People say they give you 100 and they
But some
don't.
people say they want to hear 100 and they don't.
You can't
Can't
handle
handle
the
the
truth.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
For real. And that's
People
real
offer
life.
it
There's
and
a
they
lot of
don't
people
give
like
you
that.
that.
That's real life.
They're going to give you what they want you to know. They're not going
right.
to give you their deepest, darkest secrets, bro.
No, but my thing is, I don't. That's something between you and remember
No,
the
I mean-
creator.
I mean-
I don't gotta. No, I'm saying me.
But if you're
even
talking
me,
about being
that's
truthful-
something between me and the creator. My
Are you
deepest,
talking about
darkest
being
secrets.
truthful, though?
Who are we talking?
To people that you love, to a friend, a family, relative, anything.
Think about
you
it,
gonna be
they're not-
all the way, honey.
But they're not coming up to you asking you every day, like, how you doing, Renee?
Right,
you
but if
okay?
you
Give me a
present
hug.
your-
What's your deepest, darkest secret?
But
Like,
if
you know
you
what I'm saying? They're not.
No,
like, that's
listen.
not
And a
happening.
lot of
But
people
if
don't
you
wanna
out
hear
here
this shit.
presenting
Think about
yourself,
that. They don't care.
You can't.
if you out here presenting
The general
yourself like,
public really doesn't have time for it.
Go ahead.
if you out here presenting yourself, keywords, I'm gonna keep it 100 about everything. Ask me anything. I feel like being truthful. It's not.
No,
Man, you're gonna
nobody's-
get like, you're gonna get like
Who's going around saying
87.
that? Who's going around saying that? I haven't heard nobody say that.
She trying to say you say it.
I said that.
She's
What?
I said I feel like
It's
being
okay.
honest.
It's another podcast, y'all.
No, I'm asking.
It's not about
I
us,
said I
though,
wanna-
hon.
I'm asking.
It's okay.
So I'd be like, I want to be 100. Ask me anything.
You be like, ask me anything, and you pick and choose on what you want to be honest about, bro. Swear to God on my soul. I do too. Let me put that out there. I do too.
Look, and she's
Because I don't want to hurt his feelings or anybody else's. I care too.
Man, you don't be asking.
We just
nobody
only
about
human.
Shoe size or nothing like that though.
I don't.
You ask.
Fuck your shoe
You
size.
want it. So you are the person that be like.
Don't be like
"What's
what
your
I'm being.
deepest, darkest secret?" And I'll be like, oh, it'd be you.
Nah.
You want to know that type stuff.
I
You ask
don't.
questions.
You be like, ask questions. I'm like, I don't want to know nothing. I'm cool with what I know right now.
So what's
Fuck
your
no.
deep darkest secret?
Mine?
Who mine?
Yeah.
Deepest, darkest secret. We all gonna do one?
No.
Look.
He asked you.
Nah, because
We all
I
gonna do
really
one?
only got one, so nah, I'm out.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm allowed to opt out too. Then I guess.
Yeah. This is a
I was
yeah.
about
No,
to
you
say,
can
like
say
that.
I said that as a joke. I didn't expect you to.
Nah, you didn't
if
think I
will
was
tell
gonna- you didn't
her,
think I was gonna-
like you
Wow.
gonna tell a
He
podcast.
didn't think I was gonna load it
they're
back
gonna
and be
have
like, pow.
At least 5
Nah.
minutes.
Nobody wants to be honest,
Look, this the
basically.
thing, this the thing,
Look
man.
how fast that flipped.
Nah, it ain't even that, man. This
He is,
no,
though.
he said deepest, darkest secret.
I did.
Like
You said he gonna opt. You said I'm gonna opt too.
I can show you my deepest, darkest secret.
He said,
The fuck?
Man,
I
that's
can
the
show you my deepest,
that's the
darkest
littlest
secret.
embarrassed secret.
Man, what you talking about?
Ain't nothing
I
deep
can
about
show
that.
you my deepest, darkest secret. Don't play with me. But yeah, we all. I feel like we all got them skeletons. But this the thing though. Go do something strange, do something weird, man, because nobody care about what people really think.
I did a lot of that.
See, when I think of keeping it 100, I don't have to tell you my deacon's darkest secret.
Yeah, because
Right.
that ain't what it's about.
But I have to definitely tell you any of my secrets that are going to affect you in our
Period.
relationship.
Say that,
Does that
cousin
make
Chess.
sense?
Say
that
that,
make
bro.
sense, though?
That's going to affect you,
I said,
bro.
but does that make sense, though? What you just said,
I
that
believe
makes
so.
sense.
Whatever
It
is
does.
required to
That's
you,
what I'm
I said you
saying.
were asking me, does that mean... Nah,
But she's
yeah.
agreeing like that's what it is.
It is.
Man, what I got going on don't affect you, though. The stuff you ask me, is
I don't
she
even
pregnant
ask
with
you
twins?
nothing.
Is she such, like what?
These are facts things.
What are you
though.
talking about? No, I always
Now
say,
you about to make me
what are you
fall
talking
into
about?
a whole nother nothing.
Another podcast.
Right.
Another
He got a baby
podcast.
mama that's pregnant with twins.
Damn, you
and he
know-
said they ain't his.
I didn't never say they weren't mine.
You
I
ain't
said, what
never
are you
tell
talking
me.
about? I said, what are you talking about?
So you can't confirm me?
I said, what are you talking about?
Weird as fuck. Niggas know
How's
what's
that
going
weird?
on.
It has nothing to do with you.
Catrice, good luck on you and your
Hey,
7
look.
babies, y'all.
Look,
Don't be putting my...
Fuck.
Bro,
I'm
come
going to
on,
let
bro.
Renee pull our collar like she was trying to do like 10
Right.
minutes
Yeah,
ago.
What you
then
mean?
we'll do that.
And you said you had something you want to say. You remember what that was now?
Yeah. Remember?
I didn't. I mean, I'm sorry because we got way off of
Yeah,
it.
we got way off. Let's get back.
It was about God.
Yeah.
No, it was about God for real. It was about... Can't remember no more.
It's all right. I mean, it was like 10 minutes ago.
Hey.
Trying to hold on to something for like 10 minutes. is not easy.
Cause my mind be going.
Yeah.
I can only hold on to it for so long. Small attention, not small, just short attention span.
There you go.
People.
And really, we're bringing it back not to just God, like you said. We were talking about like affirmations
Yeah.
and you know like The Secret or
Yes.
Which, and I like what
Affirmations
you
I
were
believe
saying
in all
too.
day, though.
But I like what you were saying too about choices. That's definitely a yeah. Like,
manifesting.
yeah, manifesting. You brought up that.
What is
else
it?
did you say?
Fucking tribulations and triumphs.
Trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations.
I mean, we're
That ain't
none
nothing.
of us immune
how
to
you
that.
supposed to go? How you supposed to grow if you don't go through it?
Yeah. you know,
Period.
Yeah, tell me.
makes sense.
Tell me how you're growing through your trials and tribulations.
Okay, with me, right?
Yeah.
I'm like on my 7th week. So I done cried on my knees to God to remove things. And I ain't gonna be specific, but
Okay.
I still tend to fall back to it. Swear to God I do. And I ain't and drinking and everything else
And
though.
earlier you said life is
Do you know-
choices.
Yes, life is choices, but do
Yeah.
you know I also get tired of myself? Because now at times I feel like I'm playing with God.
What do you mean?
Because I'm doing wrong, right? Supposedly. And I know I'm doing wrong and I still do it. And every time, oh, I'm tired of doing this, let me go pray to him. You know how stupid that make me feel? So sometimes I don't even want to pray to him no more. Because bitch, you need to fix yourself. Stop playing with shit. Take it seriously. And I know this at hand, so I'm
God that
sitting
you
here
believe
talking
in, does
about
he
it.
forgive you?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Let me ask you a question.
Definitely.
He keeps forgiving you every time even when you do the same stuff over
Yeah.
and over.
This whole nigga died on the cross for our sins. And didn't even know me.
So what you're saying is God already knows that you're gonna sin,
Period.
and so
And you know what I pray for?
And because of that, He's already forgiven
God,
you.
still, you know what it is? I can be in my house and I can pray
So-
and be content. Hold on.
Hey.
Listen.
Okay.
I can be in my house, I can pray, and I can be content, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I walk out the fucking front door, bruh, it just be some other shit. Like, worldly ways. It's so easy to fall back into what you already been used to doing. You're already immune to that. It blows my mind. Like, I don't want him to put me nothing so triumph to where like I'm gonna go against you. I don't want to put me through that. So I tried to be, Renee, come on, bro, be on top, do it. You pray for this shit, pay attention, take it seriously, cause you know you going, man, that nigga put you in your deepest, darkest corner ever. And I'm even talking about like you, I would never ever have to want to lose everybody around me. I don't know how I would cope with that. I think you're a strong individual because of that. Me? He took my first L from me when I was 17. That is the deepest, that is the most, I'm talking even with taking one of my kids, it had never hurt like how it hurt when he did that. You hear me? Do you hear me, bro? I've never loved nobody, not even myself, as much as I love that person. Blows me every time, and it pisses me off. Because, bitch, you know what's going on, you still see him play games with me.
So is that the pain you try to drink away?
No. No, and not just that. I drink because I have an addictive personality, too. I said that earlier. And I used to do other stuff to deal with that.
Yeah.
Just now I don't do that. I have an addictive personality.
So you made some progress.
I did.
Okay.
Great
A lot of
progress.
progress.
But I'm still
if
addicted
you
to
have
some.
an addictive personality, you know what you're working with.
Yes. I have an addictive personality.
So why
I have to be
protect that?
adapted to something. I try, y'all. I'm not perfect.
No, I'm saying
but
attack it, head on.
I do.
Well, hey, I
I
know
do
if you attack
sometimes.
anything head on, you gonna win.
But I'll
I'm
blow
just
your
saying,
kneecap
alright,
out.
don't do that.
Say it again.
I'm gonna need this motherfucking
I know.
kneecap.
Say it the fuck
Damn,
again.
bro, she okay.
I'm just saying, y'all, just me as a person, bro. Just I go through my own struggles, and everybody,
We all
my
do.
struggles ain't nobody
We all
else's
do.
struggle. Everybody is going what they're going through. Everybody is going to perceive it the way they are, and everybody is going to interpret the way they can.
I have an addictive
You have your own.
personality too.
I swear to
And
God, I do.
I've
Cousin
been
Chess,
in
I have one.
rehabilitation
If I ain't addicted to
programs.
nothing, I'm always addicted to something.
I've been in rehabilitation programs. I've worked 13 steps. I've gone to my meetings. I've done 90 and 90 and all that jazz, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? So I understand about having an addictive personality, and for me, part of my struggle, like you asked me earlier, you asked me a question. I said I don't think about it anymore. I don't worry about it anymore. It's not because I've always been like that. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. I spent a lot of time trying to
So you
understand
slightly burnt out on
understand
it.
this. But one of the things that I came to was, one, I had to accept life for life.
Like,
The things in life that are just part of life, whatever the universe, to me, I don't worry about who's to blame or whatever. Shit happens.
Right.
It is what it is. Nobody gets out alive. None of us. You know what I mean? And
Everybody gotta go.
Death is hard. I get it, but it's even harder if you don't accept it.
It's
You know what I
way
mean?
harder.
It's way harder.
Because since you saying that person, I'm the queen. Do you think she would want you holding on to all that pain? Like, come on, man. You know her better than I. Never got, like you said, I never got to meet her. But from everything I done heard from that beautiful lady, she wouldn't even want you to hold on to that pain.
She couldn't even hold on to her own pain though.
That's what. So,
She couldn't even hold on to her own pain.
Go Chet.
Like,
Go
You know what
Chet.
I love about you?
Go Chet.
Because you do keep it 100.
you hear
Go
me?
Chet.
You do.
I tried to.
Go Chet.
You do.
Go Chet.
And
Y'all gonna make
and-
me cry?
Nah.
Nah, don't cry.
And what I like about that the most is what it tells me is you really want it.
I'm trying to figure it out, bro. I
Exactly.
swear to
Really
God, I
does.
am.
Exactly.
Because she's
I'm
open.
You
trying
have
to
a
figure
very
it out.
similar approach to
She's
what I do,
open. I'm
which
trying to
is
figure it
all I
out.
gotta do is be me, and I gotta accept the reality of it. For the good, the bad, the ugly.
I wanted
I
to
gotta
accept
accept
it
my
all, but show
depression.
me
I gotta
though.
accept my anxiety. I gotta accept ADD. I gotta accept all these things that they say are wrong with me, and I don't look at it as something wrong with me anymore.
Right.
I don't let people tell me there's something wrong with me.
Just 'cause they don't
what
understand
what I
it.
learned is they told me the way that I work. There ain't nothing wrong with the way I work. This is how I work. And this is the things that have caused me to work this way. Right? These are the experiences. This is the genetics.
background,
This is the
everything.
Yeah. So then I say, okay, now I know how I
Integrate.
work.
Right.
And I integrate it.
Man.
Right? But part of that
I'm trying
integration,
to understand it.
I
know.
I said that,
I
y'all.
get it.
You don't get
I
it.
don't know what to believe.
But it's a
sometimes.
journey. But it's a journey.
it
though.
really is.
It's
At least
a
I'm
journey.
honest.
But
You
yeah,
are,
At least
and I
I'm
love that
honest,
about
bro.
you. I
because
really do.
because you
I really do.
open-hearted. That means you're open-minded.
So serious
I
about what I'm
respect
talking
people
about.
that are going to be real. I don't care about what your IQ is, what your salary
None of that.
is,
None
what
of
your
that.
shoes are, what your car. I don't care. I
want
respect
peace.
people that are themselves.
Peace. For sure.
Whatever's gonna make me have peace.
And
I want to
do-
believe in the
firmly
right
believe that
thing, bro.
accepting yourself as you are in your circumstances
Yeah.
is for me, that was one of my biggest pathways to peace.
Yeah, inner peace, man. Inner peace is better than, because like you said, when you go outside the door, you're gonna always have to deal with the world.
Oh man, it's
world
so
ain't
much
gonna be there.
harder.
Listen, it's gonna be there.
I know that.
But peep though, like your inner peace gonna start to shine and start to brighten other people's days,
Now,
and get other people involved with being open and honest, and being more in tune with themselves, and being more in tune with their higher
Being
powers.
open, being
And just,
honest.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? Like that will start rubbing off.
To bring it back to what
Shout
he
out.
was saying, what Prince EA is
Shout
talking
out Prince
about.
EA.
Prince.
Oh man, I'm about to
EA.
lose this.
Right.
Some of the tools that he's talking about, which include what we started the conversation with, which is like affirmations, right? And this idea of manifesting, right? Feeling it. There is some reality to saying, what is the life you want to experience? This is what you're experiencing. Hold on. This is what you're experiencing right now, right? And for lack of a better term, I'm just going to call it drunk chaos. That's not what you want to experience anymore, right? So what do you want to experience?
A woman of God, a woman of
Okay,
higher
then
power.
what does that? What
I
does?
don't know yet. I'm that's why I'm going through the
What
obstacles.
does it look like
and
to
things.
you? Close
But
your
so
eyes real
far-
quick. Look, close your eyes. Close your eyes real
No,
quick.
because it's
No,
not.
just close your eyes.
No,
Just
listen.
no, can
No,
you do it for
listen.
me?
Listen.
Can
Let
you
me
just
tell
do it
you
for me?
with my eyes
Come on, come on.
closed.
All right, look. When you no, listen. I don't want you to tell me what you thinking. I want you to answer the question. What does that look like to you in your head? Like
I don't know.
No, listen. You're not listening.
You're not listening to me.
No, I am listening. You said you don't know, but you're not even thinking. What does it look like? What do you see yourself as outside of what he said? The drunken chaos?
I don't know.
You.
I
You
don't
can go
know.
outside
That's
of
why I
that.
prayed to him. I prayed to him to ask me to show him.
It ain't
Because obviously,
been that long. It ain't been that long.
you don't have to
You know,
understand
you
it.
gotta let
You
her
don't have
answer
to
me her
understand it,
know,
bro.
but she know who she is, though.
I do know who I am.
I understand where you're coming from.
I
but at
do
the same
know I
time-
am. But I haven't caught his
So
vision
how about
in my
let
head.
me start it off
yet.
like this.
So I pray
Instead
so
of what
hard.
you do right now, right? You
But
said you're
see,
fine in the house, right? You say you're fine in the house, but the problem is once you open the door and step outside.
What?
Okay, so change it just in your imagination. When you step outside the door, what do you want to see? What do you want?
When I
to
walk out the
experience?
door,
Yeah.
I want people to look at me and like, she's changed. There's something great in her. There's something inspirational. She inspires me. And do you know, to this day, even with living the life I
So
inspire
you don't
people.
like the way other people look at you?
No, nobody looks at me bad. They think I'm doing good. I don't like the way I look at myself because I know I could be so much fucking more.
And what
I don't
do you
care.
see? That's what I'm
I
trying
just say
to...
or said it.
What?
When you walk and when I walk out, people can look at me and they can see the glow. Not even the glow. They can see the change in me. The real life change, bruh. Not she drink bottles, like self-care. She's a good mom, like everything, and everybody gonna have their rainy days. Just I'm confused in my head sometimes.
Someone asked questions. So you don't think you're a good mom?
Yes, I do.
I was about to say.
Do you think I
I'm
can be
here to
even
tell
better?
you.
Do you
Of
think I
course,
can be
we
ever?
all- we're
Hell
all-
fucking yeah, I
Man,
can.
we're all gonna get better
Hell
as we
yeah,
go.
I can.
That's the whole point.
Do I see
No,
I'm
the
better
whole
than what I
point is-
used to be? Yes.
Hold on.
Am I better than what I used to be? Yes, I am.
And that's the
Can I
whole
be
point.
way more? Hell fucking yeah.
And what's stopping you?
Trials and tribulations, just my confusion on things, my decisions, my lack of faith in certain situations. That is what's getting me.
So your lack of faith is getting you from where you
Come
up
on,
there.
don't test my water.
I'm asking a question.
Because I already explained it earlier.
I'm talking about up there where you said you want to be at. You said
My
your
lack of faith in a higher power.
What is your lack of faith in that higher power? If
Because-
that higher power has brought you where you are today,
Right.
and
'Cause
mixed up
maybe
with the
things ain't
manifestation.
happening.
Hold on. Wait. And mixed up with the manifestation. You feel me? And mixed up with the manifestation. Because remember you said that.
Right.
If that got you to where you are today,
Why do I have lack of faith?
that ain't gonna take you even higher.
That's why I pray for patience. Because maybe to me it don't happen fast enough or when I need it to happen.
Okay.
I said I pray for that, don't I?
So then
Didn't
back,
I say that?
So then back to when Chet said. Remember when you said when you just think you about to get on the road, or when you open the door to the world, and then those temptations come, or then you said early the devil comes. How come you're not utilizing those things as tests?
I do.
Hold on,
It
listen.
ain't like I
listen,
just
listen.
walk out
It's
the
not
door and I'm
devil.
like, ooh, I'm ready for the world.
I'm saying it's not the devil at all. It's just God sending those tests for you to accomplish in the patience level. Does that make sense? That's what we was explaining.
So how you know the devil? How do you know when the devil is attacking and when he's not?
No, I don't even worry about the devil.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I was just about to say. Look, Pete,
I believe
don't worry
in God.
about nothing. That's
Just
cool.
like
That's
I
cool.
believe in the devil,
No,
bro.
that's cool. But
They both real.
if you put out positive energy and think more about the good, hold on, let me.
There's definitely
You don't mind? You don't mind if I
do your thing.
just one for a second? If you put more good out and worry about good, more good is gonna come. It's not like nobody's immune to trials and tribulations. Everybody gonna go through something. But if you just manifest more good and you don't worry about none of that evil, bad stuff that you know actually exists. We know it's there. We know it's there. But this the thing though. We can't control it. When you hop in a vehicle, guess who you gotta trust driving? Everybody around you. And guess what? You don't know none of these people.
Really, Renee, what I'm trying to say is that I'm using your words, but this is something I believe, right? And that is, there's nothing the devil can do to me without God's permission.
Let's go. Talk that shit.
So
And that's why it's a lesson. That's why it's trials and tribulations.
But
You're
hold
right.
on, now
I've been
listen.
saying
No,
that.
just listen.
Now listen. In your situation, if you are saying I'm praying for this, and this is what God has put in front of me, or this is what God has allowed the devil to put in front of me, I have to overcome it, right? Mm-hmm. Right? I have to walk through this test.
You gotta have faith.
You call it the test.
You gotta have faith.
Okay.
You have to have faith.
So when we talk about what you're experiencing now versus what you want to experience, what is probably the top 3 things that are in your way from where you are right now to where you want to be?
My self thoughts, and my lack of determination.
Never once said drinking. See what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like, what the fuck?
I know
Man,
drinking already, bro.
We out of here, man.
Cut me off like
good
that.
episode,
Not
man. Good episode, man.
But I hear you. You said myself.
You don't gotta walk off.
No, just don't do that to me.
I ain't doing
I don't
nothing
have
to
to say
you.
drinking. I said my lack of a determination. It covers all of that. I gotta literally say, I gotta stop drinking. We already said that. I've already
You are
said
allowed
that
to
before.
say what you want to say.
Right.
I asked you your answer.
And I laughed because you didn't say drinking. So
I
I ain't
know
allowed
that
to laugh.
already.
So I'm not allowed to laugh.
I already said that earlier.
Say what?
That I drink.
No.
That's why I make the choices that I make. I
Hold
choose
on,
to
hold on,
drink.
hold on.
When you ask me, what choices do I make?
Why you getting so loud and
Why do
feeling
you
so
laugh
offended?
at me? And I'm so
Nah,
real
I'm
about
not
what I'm talking
laughing.
about.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at your decision making. Ain't that what you said?
It ain't gotta be yours, bro. At least I'm real.
I didn't say it
At
was
least
mine.
I'm real.
I didn't say it was mine,
At
but
least
I'm allowed
I'm
to
honest
laugh.
with myself.
But I'm allowed to laugh. I got a fucking kick out of that. Chill out. It ain't that serious.
So you said myself, my thoughts. What was the third one?
My lack of
Self-determination.
determination.
Lack of determination.
My lack of determination.
Well, yourself, you can't get rid of yourself,
Not at all.
and in many ways you can't.
It be your thoughts in your head that fuck with you the most out of
Yeah.
anything.
But
you
your
say
thoughts
out of-
aren't you.
So you say those 3 out of those 3, is it the self thoughts that are the biggest, or? Because like I feel like they would get in the way of self determination. Because self determination is like having thoughts.
It's the thoughts.
Y'all
Yeah.
asked me and I gave y'all my answers.
I know. I'm
We're
asking you
dissecting.
more about it.
We're dissecting.
Please don't dissect me now.
Okay.
You don't want to?
No, that's fair.
cool.
Nope,
All
I
right.
don't.
Well, talk to me,
That's very
Chet.
fair. No,
Talk
that's
to me,
very
Chet. All right, talk to me, Chet. Ask me anything, Chet.
Well, like for me, you want me to ask you anything?
Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm doing, huh? Yeah.
So, but let me.
Well, how would you do it?
Let me
How
move
would
it
you-
over
how
here.
would you figure it out?
So it's not about really figuring it out.
No, I'm talking about your.
Because for me, addiction is hard. Okay, like I smoke cigarettes. I've been smoking cigarettes since I was. I mean, I probably had my first cigarette at like 5 years old or some shit.
But you wasn't smoking on a day-to-day.
On a day-to-day since I was like 16 years old, right? And like I've definitely for the last like I definitely recognize how hard it is. Like, man, I definitely recognize like it does nothing for me, right? Like, there's nothing about a cigarette that really is doing anything for me other than at this point satisfying my addiction, right?
I understand that. Because I remember I first started smoking cigarettes, and it was, I mean, I started with the Black and Milds, of course, because that was my era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and we used to call these cancer sticks. Like, I would never smoke a cigarette. You know what I mean? Like, type shit. I used to hate when Antonio sent me to the truck to get him them fucking Marlboro
You
lights.
hated that he smoked them, huh?
Man, what? Them bitches stunk.
Right.
They stunk to me. You know what I mean? Like, ew. And then you smoke Marlboro lights?
It tastes like
Who the fuck smokes Marlboro lights as a
light,
big ass black dude with dreadlocks hanging down your goddamn back? Man, my brother was a real, like, yeah, he was out there. He was out there.
But for me, so like I got to a point where I realized like they do nothing, and here's the thing: they just take away from my health and my wealth.
You're right.
Right? They just take away from my health and my wealth.
You're right.
And health is wealth.
And well, I was about to say the same thing.
You know what I mean?
I was just about to say the same thing. Like, but like, that's the same thing, though. Health
But
is wealth.
even knowing all that,
Because the longer you here,
I
the more,
still,
you know what I'm saying, you can accumulate.
most days I'm gonna wake up and probably smoke a cigarette right now. Now I've quit several times. I've quit for a year. I've quit for 6 months.
Can I ask that question? Like, what was like cold turkey?
No, I mean I have done it.
You ain't had no
cold turkey.
patch on your motherfucker.
I haven't done any patches.
Did you have a gun?
I tried the gum for like a day.
I just wanted to know. You know how my mama tried to get me to stop smoking?
Huh?
Vapes. And guess what? Now we figured out that them bitches is more harmful than smoking cigarettes.
I used the e-cig for a minute.
Yeah, my mom bought me the power
Helped
one
me get through
a long time ago. Shout out to Power Eat if they even still whatever. That was a long time ago though. But my mom tried to get me on them things, man. And it just no, wasn't doing it.
Even now, I mean, I know that, but I'm still
doing this trick.
because for me, like like I quit one time for like 6 months, and I remember I was like a couple months into it, man, and I'm doing some work or whatever, and all of a sudden I pat my pocket.
Knowing that you,
I didn't even have a thought, bro.
knowing that you.
The thought came after I packed my pocket, and I was like, "What the fuck you do? You just check for cigarettes." You know what I mean? Like you just literally just check for cigarettes, and
What's going on outside? Oh, okay. They probably after you because you know that girl is on fire. That girl is on fire. Hey,
she's not listening.
it's my audition right there. Nah, I wasn't for her. It was an audition. But no, like yeah, as far as
so for me, like it's really hard, bro. Like I said, I've been a couple times, and the next thing you know, like addiction is hard.
Addiction definitely.
Once your brain has decided that it wants and or needs something, which I think addiction is like your brain thinks I need this. I need this to deal with whatever this moment. I need, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I'm switching like from a religious, spiritual base to like the scientific base, right?
All right, let me hear it.
It's part of our reality, right?
And not only that, I heard science and religion was really hand in hand. But go ahead.
To me, they're both we're just trying to understand this whole thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk.
They're both just ways to try to understand.
Let's talk.
This
go
thing.
ahead.
And so when it comes to understanding addiction and understanding my brain, you know what I mean? Understanding how my brain works. Because remember, I got to understand me so that I can be me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can know. So and not only that, like, so you can
know who I am.
Yeah. Your identity. Like,
right.
I need to know why I'm feeling this way. I need to know what. You know what I mean? Because if I don't know.
And some people get that from parents, and some people get that from family.
And I'm saying like when you know what I mean, like it wasn't an attack when I said dissector,
right?
Brain or nothing like that. It wasn't an attack. It's like sometimes analyzing and taking a step back and trying to get it is that It's like, have you ever had a brain fart, and in the midst of it, you like, oh, it's that. You feel me? Because all you need is that 5 seconds. Just don't be so impulsive all the time. It don't gotta be that. You know what I mean? Just sit back. Hold on. Oh yeah. And as now your brain is really on. You done flipped the whole script now. You're not even thinking nothing negative no more. You're thinking problem solving. You're thinking how to figure it out. You're thinking, you know what I'm saying? So now you're going into that realm, and all that other shit is behind you now. You know what I mean? Like that's how I just take life. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally like, okay, so I fucked up. I don't want to do that again. So fuck how much I fucking drink. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to never make you feel like that again. It ain't gonna be no swill, none of that, no hell nah. What? I beat his ass if I knew he was here and you said that. Like, hold on, he said he did what one time? He pulled a what? I'm about to go see him real quick. Like, for real, because I don't never want it to, what? Not this. This could never, man, ain't no way, because even if it did.
I don't mess with that, bro. I mean, like I'll have a drink, a celebratory drink, probably once a year. Maybe it's New Year's. I have 1, 2.
Yeah.
Like recently, my family got together and we went to a bar that like in Chicago where all the gangsters went or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna have a drink. Everybody, you know,
we're
like,
here.
around.
So
engage in the festivities.
Yeah, I have that one every now and then. But since I was like probably I say 30, like I don't get drunk anymore.
And I understand because you don't like yourself like that.
I don't like myself like that. I don't like how I feel the next day. And really, the only thing I like about it is like it does lighten my mood. But I'd rather use herb for that.
Yeah.
Like herb lightens my mood. You know what I mean? I do.
And that's what.
You ain't gonna have no hangover or nothing.
Look, this is where I go to. I'm not perfect, right? Because I smoke herb. Like I smoke cigarettes. I'm not completely clear. I'm not completely clean. You know what I mean? It's not that like the things that I've done have gotten me to a point where I can just be like, bam, put them down. Those bad for my health and my wealth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
know it.
Yeah.
There's the thought, and I'm gonna put it in action. And don't get me wrong. I got to take time. Like, and there's certain points in the process. Like sometimes you're at a point where you're still at an acceptance point. If you're not ready to accept it, you're gonna put up blocks and barriers. You're not gonna answer questions
in your own
that you don't want to answer because you can't get past that. You can't answer those until you cross this certain threshold.
Come out of denial. Come out of denial.
What's the opposite of denial? Acceptance.
Right.
Period. Right. I mean, there's a point where we come to acceptance, and I forget where I was going with that, but I said what I said.
I get where you going to though, Chet. Like at the end of the day, like it is about, you know what I'm saying, understanding oneself, like being one with yourself. Like you said, the acceptance part. Like once you know you, then you know.
I think one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in this world is to be yourself and to love yourself as yourself.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
As you are. All your everything. Because look, if I go with the Christian basis that God has already forgiven me and I'm already forgiven, then the only person that's left to forgive is for me to forgive myself.
Period. I believe that.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, I'm not gonna, like, if I shoot myself in the leg, Lil Wayne style. Shout out to Weezy F, baby.
If I shoot myself
in the leg, Lil Wayne said, I forgave myself about that. I'm not gonna shoot my other leg. Does that make sense too?
It was an accident though.
He said, I can forgive, but I'm
talking about Lil Wayne's situation. I'm talking about real life. Like, I'm gonna make sure I don't accidentally handle a gun that way again, too. Even if it was an accident, I'm gonna make sure I know my duties of handling a firearm and make sure that I don't do that again. Does that make sense too? So, that's where I feel people is scared of that change. They scared of change.
Well, they're scared of change. There's also like different people have different abilities. Some of us have more determination than others.
Right.
Some of us have more focus than others. Some of us are more mechanically inclined. Some of us are real good at numbers. Right. You know what I mean? We all have our gifts. We all have our ways. And so, you know, you can't look at one person's journey and be like, well, everybody should do it their way. You know what I mean?
Or look at the next person's
like
journey
and look down on
theirs.
Like how you said when you went to the seminary. Yes.
Yes.
Just like you said
right.
that.
Like, you got to figure out, and this, I personally believe this. This goes with my relationship with what I call God, right? The higher power. You know what I mean? Like, we all got to figure out our own way. We may have other people to tell us their way, but that doesn't mean their way has to be our
Your
way.
way.
Because it could just be Yahweh.
Say it again.
It could just be Yahweh.
The real.
The
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Y'all.
That doesn't need a book. That doesn't need
Man, I remember
somebody
I said
else.
that to
It's
my
just
mama.
me and God.
I said that to my mama. My mama said, his name is Yahweh. It ain't God. I said, hold on, Yahweh, how you spell it? So she told me how she spelled it. I said, nah, it's supposed to be spelled Yahweh. So however y'all want it to go.
Yahweh.
Yeah, it's Yahweh. Like,
it could be
think about it.
Yahweh or Yahweh.
Yeah, it's literally Yahweh, bro. Like, y'all can do whatever y'all want. Like, if he gave us a free will to do whatever, then I even asked I'm gonna ask you this, Chet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you the same question. So if this same God that we talking about Christian stuff. Listen, if we know the same God knows from the beginning to the end, right? Then why on earth would he even create the devil, Satan, whatever, in the first place? Being an angel in heaven, being the most beautiful angel over the worship, he was an instrument himself. That's why the music's so corrupt. We'll get to that later, but you know what I mean? He you know what I mean? Like, he was exalting God the most. He was over all of that. So not only him though, but a third
Third of the angels cast out.
left too? So you mean to tell me even before we were created, free will was created? Go. Go.
He said go.
Go. What are your thoughts?
Well, my
What are your
first
thoughts?
thought.
God
very-
was tested.
Hold on. I'm asking Chet first, then I'm gonna let you brew on it, stew on it.
My very
keep
first
that-
thought
keep that in mind.
is the fact that it's going to be missed because you said so much around it, but the fact that who created what?
God created everything, right? So
Yeah.
he created the angels, right?
Right.
And Lucifer, right?
Right.
And then Lucifer
So God
said
created
he wanted to
what?
be God.
Yeah.
Lucifer
So
was like, I
God
want to be.
created what?
That's like when Eve bit the apple
So
in the
there's
fucking
nothing
Garden
that
of
happens
Eden.
that isn't God, because God created it all.
Yeah, so
God created it all. If he created
Choices.
the devil, then he created it
In
all.
the beginning,
If
there
he
was
created
choices.
the tree and he created the choice, he created it all. He
gave
created
people
the
choices.
choice. He created the serpent.
That's why you gotta have faith. He gave you choices so you
yes.
have belief and faith.
Right. But are you hearing me?
I hear you.
He created
the serpent.
He created
To be challenging.
the apple.
Somebody gotta do
So
it.
part of it is accepting our challenge.
Exactly.
Trials and
Some
tribulations.
of us, our challenge is losing both of our brothers and our mother and our father before we're 25. Some of us, our challenge is losing our mother before we're 18.
But to me, that
But-
ain't the greatest challenges, though.
But
Like, to me,
tell me
that's-
that haven't been some. I mean, but that
But
was
to me, that's not even really like my greatest challenge is forthcoming. I haven't even went through my greatest challenge yet.
so. But your
I've
greatest
been-
challenge today, the greatest thing
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
had
I mean-
to work through to get to this point.
But that's
so
like-
you can be ready for this.
But that's grief, and that's like something else that you got to deal with on a different type of, you know what I mean? Just
But that's what-
it's like a cloud in the sky, man. When it comes, I don't. It doesn't stay. The cloud never sticks right there, ever. I would have to chase this cloud down
That's
for
what it's
it to
called,
make
rainy
sense.
days.
Exactly,
It
it
don't
goes
rain all the
away.
time.
So it's the same thing in my head when the depression comes, I let it come, and then I let it go.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm with
when
you.
the
I'm with you
sadness,
1,000%.
when the sadness
I really
comes,
am.
you know what I mean?
we're
You know what I mean?
doing,
You know what I
but it
mean?
don't
But yeah, I let it come, I let it go.
No,
Just like
and I'm
when
on
it's
that
my-
level with you, but you had to go through some things to learn how to do that.
Mhm.
You had to go through some things to learn how to say, oh my gosh, this is just a cloud that's going to pass.
Mhm.
This is just a storm that's going to pass.
That's
I
cool.
just
It's not
need to
gonna
let
last
the
forever.
water settle so we can
Nothing
clear
lasts
up.
forever. Not even us.
True.
Not
Nah,
even
I
us.
agree.
It's content will though. Y'all better subscribe, like, comment if you know what the hell going on. Anyways, but yeah, go ahead, man.
But yeah, so but but you had to go through those struggles to learn how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be presented with those moments.
Yeah.
You had to be presented with that much love.
Yeah, most
That
definitely.
it would hurt that bad.
Yeah, most definitely.
And
Right?
learn to get
Most
through it.
You
It
know what
was
I mean?
tribulation.
And then you had to accept it. You're like, holy shit. And it keeps happening.
And it's back to back. So
Right.
now it's like, all right, well, you know.
Something you supposed to learn out of
Gravitate.
that, bro.
No, it's just the people I love.
But I'm saying
the
it
people I
sound like
love,
he kinda did.
the people I love, like y'all, I just hold on closer to y'all, grabs closer to y'all. When I do y'all wrong, I be like, damn, fuck that, I ain't gonna do that no more. And then I try to show that because that's what it is. Like, especially if you're trying to build relationships or you're trying to keep relationships with whoever you fuck with. To me, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If I wronged you, I gotta tell you, I wronged you, my bad, and then I can't do it no more. I can't keep doing it. It make no sense to keep doing
That's
it.
how I feel
That
about
means I wasn't sorry.
In the first place.
I don't know, man. I do things that I know I shouldn't. Like, I'm gonna go back to cigarettes,
Did you
man.
repeat it?
I know this thing. Like, I know, man. I know. Like, every time I buy a pack, I'm like, I could put that in the bank. If I put that in the bank, after a year, I'd be at this point. Or I can do this with that money. Or I can do that. You know what I mean?
I be thinking about that too.
You know what I mean?
Them Newport's
and I'm like,
crazy.
And I know one day the doctor's gonna say, hey, your
Cancel
breathing
it.
ain't as good as it used to be, because you've been
Better let
smoking
him go.
these cigarettes and this
You better let him
tweed.
go.
You know what I mean?
He's in
For
this
decades.
tweed.
I'm gonna be like, damn man, he's like, man, your shit's black and shriveled up like a raisin in there, bro. And I'm like,
I'm gonna be like,
Fix it.
I'm gonna look
then
at
he's gonna say fix
And then you
it.
don't want
By
to
that
wait till the
time-
last point
Nah,
where
but
it gets
Exactly,
to
I
that.
don't. You're right.
And you know
Nah,
what's
but-
gonna
but-
happen.
I mean-
You know what takes place, and we still choose to do it.
I do.
But see, the
and
thing
that's
is-
why
It
I say
takes
I
till it get real
understand how hard it
serious.
is.
That's
For a
your-
motherfucker to
that's-
motherfucker
yeah,
want to
that's-
change.
that's your
It takes something dramatic.
Well,
For
no,
us,
not
the
for me.
motherfucker
'Cause
wanna
I
change,
know.
bro.
I
It's
see.
gotta
I
be
started
dramatic.
learning my cycles. Like I know what I got to do. I just got to get my mind up to. I got to get that self determination, and I know that like it takes a little bit of build up time, right? Like I got to really get my mind right, you know, and then I got to like go to sleep one night with the last cigarette, and I got to wake up tomorrow
It's my
without one.
last cigarette. You take that last
But I gotta
cigarette
wake
before you
up
go to
and not
bed.
have any.
You gotta take that last
she
cigarette out
said
that
that.
pack, break it, and flush it
I
down the
might
toilet.
try that next time.
You know how many
but
times I done did that?
I might try that.
I
Next
just
time.
this is my first pack buying out of like 2 months.
But I,
She's
but I,
burping.
but I go,
Okay.
but I, if I
No,
wake
this
up
my
without
second.
them,
I bought one last
if I wake
week.
up
Cat.
without them, I can go for a
At
little
least
while.
I forgot.
I can go for a little while, but then my cravings start coming about 6 p.m. They start coming on real strong about 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Man,
so-
fuck
I
a
am
cigarette.
starting to, yes, I need
I
to
got an
fucking
attitude
cigarette.
now.
See, for me, it used to be.
And I'm like, I'm about to go buy a pack.
I'm nicking. I'm nicking.
I'm about to
really,
go buy a pack.
Like right now,
Yeah.
change
You know,
on deck and everything.
Change on deck. Yeah, if I'm poor, I need,
Yeah, change on deck and everything, man. Can I get a pack
I
of
don't
those?
wanna get to that point anymore.
you
It's just
feel
like,
me?
I'm like,
but you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, let me get a pack of those.
No, I'll be
But
like,
now, cigarettes for me used to be like after eating, shitting.
First thing in the morning.
Well, I ain't even really
I
smoking
never
first
was
thing
the
in the
first
morning.
thing.
I do when I wake
No,
up.
but if I'm on the
That's what we
toilet,
do if I wake up without
I'm definitely need a squally, a bogey,
Really?
a square.
He's like, this is my last.
When I wake up in
I
the morning,
gotta have it if I'm
This is
on
my
the
last
toilet. Like what? Yeah.
it says
like
it's gonna help my
it's,
mouth.
it's
my
real life.
He's like, I need this for my
This is
movement.
concentration for the constipation.
It's gonna help my mouth.
Do you hear me? Let me show you the demonstration.
Let me
Anyway.
show you
But then, like after eating, I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Sit on my stomach.
It's something about it. Right after I get done eating, I'm like, I hate it when they even like, all right, ain't no smoking area no more in the restaurant and shit. I'm like, damn, I
ready to
can't
go
just.
outside.
I'm ready to go now because I'm ready to go outside. If y'all trying to talk, I'll be right back. I will be right back.
Right.
They're like, where you going? I'm about to
Smoke
step
a
outside and
cigarette.
I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? So it started that way. Now it is, like you said, one of those, you know what I mean? Like you pat in the pocket type of, but I don't even got no cigarettes. Where my cigarettes? Like real shit, it really is that now. Just
Yeah.
when I feel
Nah, it-
when I
it's-
feel irky, anxious,
challenging.
nervous, any of those type
And
of,
Anxiety.
it just be right then and there.
is
Like
challenging as fuck. It's just
Definitely.
especially once your brain is like latched onto it, like you just talking about a pure biological latch, like it's hard to break that because you're gonna have those moments where your brain is going, I need this, and it's
Pattern.
hard. It's
I'm
hard
used to
to be
doing
like,
this.
hey, Mr. Brain, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you can shut up right now because I don't need a cigarette. You don't need a cigarette. We don't need a cigarette.
Yeah.
Let me remind you of why we don't. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot to that because you know what? My brain's going to know, actually, motherfucker, you need a cigarette right now. You feel this? Yeah. You want that cigarette or you going to keep feeling that uncomfortableness that you got.
Yeah,
You see how uncomfortable you are? Keep talking that shit.
But like that's what they say also. Like
It's hard to have the.
and
It's
I do
hard
believe
to talk back.
And also
in a way.
that I do believe like when they say like just create new habits. You know what I
Yes,
mean? You're gonna
I
have
do.
to go through all that. You're gonna have to get off of any type of addictive type of habit. You know what I mean? That's anything. You know what I mean? Could you imagine telling a person that been working out for forever to be like, hey man, start working out, bro?
Some people are addicted to working out.
Man, what?
Honestly,
They really
you
be
can get
on it.
addicted
They
to
get
a lot
mad.
of
I'm
things.
going
I
to
mean,
the
you can get
gym.
addicted to food. You can get addicted to
Well,
all
a lot of
types
times
of
what we
stuff.
get addicted to is we get addicted to that dopamine.
Yeah, that when it
It's
releases,
a chemical
and
in our brain that says this makes you feel good.
And
you're
happy.
Like, oh, I should do more of
I
that.
need to keep doing this.
You know what I
like,
mean?
you know what I'm saying? For
And
real.
if you have it,
For
what
real.
Renee called an addictive personality,
I got one.
because you're like,
And
oh,
it
this
mixes
brings,
up.
Because like in
Now
a way,
see- now
addictive.
see
Think
the
about
more of
this. It's like
Now you wonder
you
why I'm
haven't
drinking
had a lot of
24/7
pleasure
day.
in your life, so you have this thing that you can get pleasure from, and you're like, you know what, 59 minutes of my life is shit. But this 1 minute with this cigarette
I'm
brings
cool and
me
content
pleasure.
with.
You know what I mean? Or you know what? The way that life works for me doesn't feel good to me right now. So if I, just spice it up with a little bit of herb, or I spice it up with a little bit of dope, or I spice it up with a little bit of drink.
Liquor,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or I spice it up
with
by going and shopping and buying myself stuff that I
And
don't
people
need.
really
Or
do that.
I spice it up
I
by
do that.
Now,
Eating Klondike bars. That was my
Yeah.
mama. My mama
You
used to
told
eat
me
the
that she's
Klondike
addicted
bars.
to her
And
and
she
that-
had to stop getting them, bro. Real talk. I'm like, mama, you're not fat to me. My mom like, man, I'm unhealthy. I don't care what you saying. Like, I'm unhealthy. I shouldn't be consuming that. I'm doing that to drown out this. I'm like, boy, you better go get you some Coke.
That's not nice to say, Justin. What is
I'm
that
like,
not nice?
Swill got it on
What is
deck
that?
for you.
What is that not?
Not nice.
That was right. Let's say that.
I was just saying.
Miss Cammy Lair.
Man, don't shout out my
This
mama
nigga.
like that, man.
This nigga, bro.
Well, shout out my daddy too, because you could have went and started smoking crack with Pops. If that's how you felt about your weight. I'm just saying, exactly. This is how I feel, and this
He's
is how I
keeping it 100,
deal.
Renee. Remember that.
Remember that? I'm being honest.
Yes.
And this is how
This is
this is how I deal.
Miss Cammy, send me a sign. I'm gonna smack this nigga for you. Swear to God on everything. Send me a sign, Miss Lady. And I got you.
She just want to do it anyways, mama. Don't
No,
pay
you just
attention.
don't say that about Miss Cammy.
Like the fact that she thinks that
It's like one of the holiest ladies I've
Yeah,
ever
she
known in
thinks
my
that
life.
Like my mom would really sit her a message like that.
she
Wait.
really would
Knowing how
want
gentle
anybody
my
to
mom
smack
is.
him.
Like,
Exactly.
come on, man.
Exactly.
Knowing how
Like, she
gentle
would
my
like-
mom is.
like she would
She
ever
wants
think
to
of-
do it on her own, mama.
She would have
Mama.
smacked you herself. You say about that her in the Klondike bars.
Nuh-uh.
She gonna
'Cause I
light
done
your
said
ass
she,
up.
man, my mama love that, bro. She love that. Plus, especially my comedy, because she knew my comedy was so real.
But-
it's so
Well,
raw.
funny.
Like, real
But
talk,
that's
it's
the
straight
thing
raw.
is it can be whatever it is that gives you that dopamine hit, and however much the dopamine hit that is that you need. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like don't get me wrong. Like some people just want to numb it all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Pink Floyd has a song called "Comfortably Numb." You know what I mean? And believe
And I'm
me,
cool,
there
comfortable like
definitely
this.
Sometimes, like
know what I mean?
that's why I have smoked weed in the past. I smoke weed for a variety of reasons, but sometimes it is to numb. It is to shut down the world around me so that I can just feel okay for a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because
When
I
I did
don't
my
want,
drug of
sometimes
choice,
you don't hear all that
the
shit.
drugs I did do,
Oh.
that's exactly what it did for me. It numbed out me missing my kids and losing them. It numbed out my mom. It numbed out not being able to hang out with you. It numbed out everything to where it gave me, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't feel nothing, so I don't care.
Yeah, just-
it don't bother me.
That's what he's talking about. That,
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that feeling.
That's
But
the
you know what I
feeling
learned
had.
is that like that don't that
Liquor don't do that to
honestly
me.
that
but
I don't
did.
that when I get the fuckets, which is what I call that,
Yeah.
right? I don't make good decisions. I don't make good decisions.
Impulsive.
So
make impulsive decisions.
Recognizing that I'm in
a
I don't give a fuck attitude, if I can get myself out of that as quick as possible. Because look, as a child, as a young kid, that's what I had and it worked and it helped me survive, not giving a fuck. Because I didn't have a choice on a lot of things. You know what I mean? I didn't have a choice about a lot of things. So I had to, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
and you know what? There's a lot of music out there telling me,
don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And so
that's what I'm saying. The influence, it'd be the influence.
But it didn't work. It didn't work in the long run. It helped me get through a period. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that I've learned from that have helped me survive. But yeah, some things aren't long term. Some things are temporary fixes. You know what I mean?
And then when you wake up, them problems.
And that's the problem with something like alcohol, right? That is very addictive because in that moment when it helps you cope, but then it turns into now you coping. Like now, I didn't mean like now you're addicted, right? Now you coping with the addiction. You're not coping with what you're
using it to try to
You know
what it was. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Like I don't even know heavy drinking until my mom passed.
Right.
Like once my mom passed, I really started getting into it. Like, and it's crazy because that's heavy on my mom's side, which is why Antonio was like that.
It's heavy on my mom's side and my dad's side.
And that's stuff that we, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother podcast.
Hereditary.
Them generational curses that we need to be breaking though, and it's up to us to break those. And the crazy thing is too, I want it to be like, well, since I am a wrong person and I do make choices, I at least want to, if I drink, still remain cool. At least, so I can give at least that impression. Okay, I can't beat the addiction yet to where I just stop cold turkey. But I can tell you one thing, I'm not going to be drinking
every day?
Coherent.
Damn near.
Me too.
Damn near. But coherent, like still respectful, still presenting myself. You know what I mean? All that, man.
I can be I can
like
remember.
you know what I'm saying?
Nobody want to drink today, blackout, don't remember shit.
Hell
a lot of shit happens within that time.
That's how you can hurt people.
Yes.
And not just like physically, but you might say something that, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. 1,000%.
Alcoholics,
I don't even like being around people that drink. Like, really, I don't.
I understand that, man.
I don't.
And say we did a good time.
I used to drink, and when I was drinking, like, I could handle them. You know what I mean? Like, I could handle that conversation that went nowhere. I could handle the over-talking, because I just was trying to over-talk. But especially once I stopped drinking, I'm like, no.
Yeah, because you see it from the outside. Like, you see it from the outside.
What I see is, I used to think I was normal. I used to think, oh, I only drink 340s. I'm good. You know what I mean? I ain't really changed. I'm still me, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, you know, people tell me what I did afterwards. I'm like, damn, man,
I did that.
I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really as cool as I think I am. You know what I mean? As far as, like, I'm not always on that level that I think I am. My drunk mind says I'm on that level, but I'm not really on that level. You know what I mean? And so, but now when I don't, as a person that doesn't drink, it's like I see people cross that threshold to where they just, I'm like, I can't even.
Yeah, I don't even really want to tolerate it because I don't even want to be around it.
I really don't.
And it's crazy because guess what? Like, and I wouldn't want to be around it either. I wouldn't want to be around myself when it's like that. Like at all. And I feel like that's where some people be going through it at. Like, damn, I do. That's why they like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But then they you know what I mean? Like, it'd be the confliction in between. You know what I'm saying? One side and the other. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, the addiction part and then the coping part and then the numbing part. But then you don't want to do that because when you get that way, it's to this part, it's to that part. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a motherfucker every time he got high, he used to have to steal something. You got a pocket full of money, nigga. Every time this nigga get high, bro, he got to steal something. Real shit, bro. Like, why, bro? Every time you get high, you gotta go steal some shit. You got this, bro. This nigga stuffing Reese cup sticks all in his sleeve and shit. Like, why, bro? You got a pocket full of money, bro. You have a pocket full of money. Yeah, just every time you get to smoke a weed, bro, and we go on the speedway, you on bullshit. Like, you feel me? Like, why? And you have a pocket full of money. Don't do it no more. That just goes back
to like. This idea, like sometimes.
But when he's sober, he ain't do it. I swear to God. Like when he's sober, he in there like trying to talk to Yeah, you know what I mean? He in there, you know what I mean? But when he high, that nigga going in there trying to steal. Like, bro, what? He coming out with the Reese cup Christmas trees and shit, all stuffed in his bitch, what are you doing? Like, and he got them stacked at the house. Like, bro, you don't even need none because you already got several that you already stole from like 8 days of being high.
There's an addiction too.
And you got hella money in your pocket,
I used to be like that.
But I don't get it. I don't get it. And the thing is, once you go through that though, and you know better, they said if you knew better, do better, right? That's the thing. Like when are we as a whole? When are we as a whole? As everybody, y'all watching too. When are we going to start helping ourselves be better people and helping?
I mean, I think that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about how challenging it is as individuals just to do better in our individual life.
But that's what I'm saying.
We know, like
this right here is how you get better. This is how you.
But this is
that's how you get help.
This is talking about it so that somebody out there can go, you know what? This really got when he said this, something clicked. Or when she said that, I could feel that. So that wherever a person is in their process, that they might be able to gain something to help them move a little bit forward in their process. To me, it's never about perfection.
No,
I will never be perfect.
Nobody can be.
Right? So I can accept that I'm not perfect. God forgives me because he made me imperfect. That's the way I look at it. When my God is kind of not really like a human. Like he thinks and is so much more than what I can understand that I don't even try to understand it anymore because I know that I don't understand it. You know what I mean? And really, I don't need to understand it to do what he wants me to do, or I feel like the universe has created me for, or whatever.
You know what I think that's called? Understanding.
Understanding?
Yeah, because a lot of people try to overstand some shit, which I do a lot, which I apologize for to both of y'all. I know I do it to you a lot of times. But I don't mean to overstand nobody. I just want people to like get where I'm coming from too, because I'm only giving a feedback, rational. You know what I'm saying?
Your understanding
of what you're giving me, basically.
But see, I have to feel like,
and then when I try to give it back, a person will be like, you know, or you sometimes will be like,
you
I don't want to talk about it
what
no
I
more.
said.
No, I'm
Sometimes
listening.
I feel like you misinterpret what I said.
You can give it to me again, and I'll listen. You know what I'm saying?
You're still going to interpret the way you want to, though.
But if I'm giving it back to you the wrong way, then just say that. Don't say what I'm saying is irrelevant. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
then when somebody does, okay, so
that's why I said sometimes I do overstand. Okay. So I'll try to drill it. Yeah, well, I'll try to drill it. I'm telling you exactly what I've been guilty of. You feel me? I'll try to drill it. Which that ain't cool, you feel me? Because a lot of people ain't gonna understand, like you said, because we might take it in a different perspective or misinterpret it. You feel me?
And you're not her. It's more about not you. So
it will never
what works
be
for you may not work for her.
And
may not work for me.
Try to drill
you know what I mean? Because like some people, like there are ways that you can use alcohol, potentially, right? I'll use alcohol to help you cope with the situation. No. But then you're like, okay, it's been a couple weeks. I went on my little bender. Hopefully I didn't hurt myself because that's the danger of that choice, right? And then other people, maybe they go hit the gym. Now, they can hurt themselves in the gym. There are people that overwork themselves, you know what I mean? Get themselves hernias,
tear muscles,
whatever, right? Or other people go run. And everything, anything, if it's going to benefit you, it's like that everything in moderation kind of thing, right? But
nothing in, was it over excess?
But what works for me might not work for somebody else. Just there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Like I don't know why I don't even know why that people say that.
It's got to be some Japanese shit. But go ahead.
My point is, there's more than one way.
It's a Japanese saying, but I fuck with the Japs too, though. I fuck with y'all, bro.
He's like, I
swear to God, bro.
But
I fuck with y'all, bro. Don't leave that out.
He said samurai.
What's
up?
Because Chris in the house.
It's been a minute. How you doing?
Cool.
It has been like 2.5 hours. I think we've had a great conversation.
We did.
Man,
I really appreciate you. Thank you for being so open and willing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
y'all can make that the clickbait. Make that the clickbait. Hey, subscribe, like, and please comment. Comments is what we need, and subscriptions.
God bless.
Share this, man, to everybody that you feel just is a fucking lunatic. Fuck it, I don't even care. Just
No, it's not even
See you
lunatic.
next time.
you get what we talking about.